Podcast. I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
And I'm Ryan Dunnigan.
And today, we're going to do a little movie commentary on, almost I guess we call this program unofficially, movies that don't have a commentary, so we're going to put one on there.
Maybe there is. I didn't even check this. Does this have a commentary?
This thing, I don't think it has special features on it.
Oh, okay.
Well, look at it. It's right next to you. Flip the case over here. I don't think there's commentary. No, there's not, because I flipped through the menu thing.
No. I think it's one of those DVDs that just goes straight to the movie as soon as you put it in. No, not even menu.
I mean, I think they made a good Blu-ray copy of this at some point that actually fits the fucking widescreen TV, but
yeah,
we don't got that sort of luxury. We're watching this on DVD. So what we're watching today is Street Fighter, the 1994 one, not the 74 one, not the Street Fighter 2, the animated one, the good old Jean-Claude Van, Americanized, how America viewed Street Fighter in 1994 flick.
Well, this is one of those movies, I'm not going to lie, I'm not even going to say it's really that great of a movie, but it's probably not the best. It's like probably the second best live action interpretation of Street Fighter. It's not really even that good, but there is some kind of like, when you watch certain movies, you can't help but get mad at it. This one, I don't get mad at it. It's just kind of like, I understand it was at the time, and this is actually directed by the guy who did Die Hard 2, wasn't it?
Stephen De Souza did. No, he wrote Die Hard 1. He wrote a lot of Lethal Weapons. He directed Iron Man 3. No. That was Shane Black. There, take it back. So those guys, they mostly work on a lot of the same things. But no, Stephen De Souza, he wrote Commando, or he directed that too, I think. But drawing a blank there. But he did tons of action movies from the '80s. So he is like a real good choice as far as like action director. But this movie does kind of do that thing where it has like essence of what like Street Fighter is, but then also kind of puts it in like a weird perspective that makes it feel like it doesn't know what
someone kind of read a biography. Someone read like a Wikipedia article on, even though Wikipedia didn't exist at the time. They read like a brief article on like, oh, we got
notes on.
We got this, and like there are certain things like, oh well, we'll just change. I think it's what it almost feels like to me.
They skim the pamphlet in like the Sega Genesis box.
I feel like we said this on previous podcasts, but I feel like they had like a script for something like G.I. Joe, and then there are places to throw in like. They just change the names and the visual appearances of some characters, because there's a lot of characters they just blatantly don't have them down, and they kind of got to spell it out for you who it is. But it's just like it's whatever, you know. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I do enjoy the movie. It's not a movie I feel like I gotta like go out and watch every year or anything.
Like some kind of like tradition.
But I've seen it enough to where I feel like, I mean, I'll be honest, it's been probably a good like 7 years since I watched this, but I feel like I know it well enough, you know.
Well, to me, when I was a kid, this movie still was a pretty big deal because, one, we didn't have, like, any movie video game tie-ins at this point. You know, we got this, we had Mario Brothers came before it, and we had Mortal Kombat right afterwards, so it was a big deal to have the copy of Street Fighter, and now I have it on DVD, but I don't have Blu-ray. This is about as far as it probably needs to go. But, you know, it still was, for the time, for me, a big 90s thing. As I said, really, it doesn't compare whatsoever to the Street Fighter 2, the animated movie, which I think a lot of people thought that was the sequel to this one.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, I literally thought it was the sequel, too. I was like, oh, that must be the sequel. Why would they lie to me?
Why is it called just Street Fighter 2? Yeah.
Yeah, and then you don't realize, oh, it's based off the game, Street Fighter 2, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah. So, let's get this movie started. We can maybe read off some facts along the way and so on. But we're sitting right at the Universal logo. The sun is peering right offside the Earth. It's just about getting ready to start. So, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, start. Yeah, so here comes the Universal title coming around the corner. So hopefully you're lined up whether you're watching this on VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, or streaming it.
Or you just know this movie so well, like, I already know what they're fucking talking about.
I
watch this movie every night as I go to sleep.
Good. Some people might. I don't know.
I don't know.
But, yeah, Stephen De Souza did. He wrote, directed it, did all kinds of stuff. So that really sounds like that should be a really good one because, as I said, Commando is one of my favorite movies of all time.
You can always kind of tell they're trying to get a point. This movie's a big fucking deal. When they make part of the logo change for the movie, kind of like how it has a picture of the globe, how the Universal logo becomes part of the movie name, like the title comes in right there.
Exactly.
That's when you know they have like this movie. We're trying to make a big fucking deal out of this movie right here.
You know, and I will get saying it's like they do kind of get a lot of Street Fighter in there because you know we've seen those video games before where they maybe get like one or two things, maybe just names, and you can barely even recognize who the people are. Like I've watched some of them before where it was hard for me to tell who the hell these characters are supposed to be, and I've played these games a lot. So I will give this one credit. It's like, okay, Chun-Li right there.
Chun-Li Zhang,
give her Zhang.
The journalist.
Yeah, you know, she needs a zippy type Chinese last name right there. They got Shadow Law going on, so I mean, come on, it's going.
Yeah, well,
they understand the villains.
Not entirely.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the villains are good. Some of the bad guys. Some of the good guys are bad. Some of the bad guys are good in this movie.
Yeah, they do get that a little bit.
Because Zangief's not even a bad guy. He's just another like. He's not even.
He's just a wrestler.
He's just a wrestler from Russia, but he's big and intimidating and scary.
And he's from Russia, so he must be a bad guy.
Yeah, DJ's not really even a bad guy. He's just a Jamaican dude who likes to dance and fight. That's all he is. But yeah, this is one of those movies that like at least they get everybody with the exception of Akuma in here.
And I'll say this too. By the time this movie came out, like Akuma wasn't really there. He was kind of like a secret character.
He's in the like movie adaptation though. You can unlock him in that.
In the movie, you can unlock him?
No, in the movie, the video game, the movie...
Oh, you can?
In the movie video game where it almost looks kind of like
Mortal
Kombat, he's in that.
Is he really?
Yeah.
I remember playing that game for Sega Saturn.
Which is kind of like, why is he in that, but not in the actual movie?
Oh, that's weird. Maybe, yeah. I don't know, maybe he has this cameo in there somewhere.
I mean, keep in mind how many video game movies were out at the time. We're still kind of waiting for that, like, I guess that... Dark Knight or something of video game movies, but
you know, something to finally, or almost like a Batman Begins, where it finally pulls, you know, to a really good level. At
least this one's because even Double Dragon, because that's not a very like, it's not an amazing movie either, but. This movie it looked like because they're trying to work with what they had. This one they actually did put some money into it, based on the Capcom video game Street Fighter 2.
Yeah, they didn't say like based on like the novel and try to lie.
Or
like an old like
based on characters from a video game that no one really gives a fuck about.
My favorite one's when you watch really old comic book movies like Batman and stuff. It's just based on magazines by DC. It's like
based on characters appearing in DC magazines.
We can't even say comics.
Spine cracks. We're actually watching those subtitles. It's been a little while since I've seen this movie, but I feel like I know it well. G&T News. No, but this right here...
the Jean-Claude Van Damme thing, though, that is one of those ones. I get it, because Jean-Claude Van Damme, big action star at the time, and I guess it's one of those ones they couldn't get...
So obviously not American.
A really good choice.
Bruce Willis.
Yeah, Bruce. Well, if you just put a fucking wig on Bruce Willis, he'd probably be ideal. And I'm surprised, for the fact Stephen De Souza. It's like, well, I'll say this. It's like, I don't think Jean-Claude Van Damme looks bad as the role. I mean, it's just... He just has that accent.
I think
we can never get away from that. And like when he's got an American tattoo and everything.
Yeah. I mean,
I love how E Honda they kind of just make him like, oh, he's just some computer nerd. Why? Because he's fat.
And he's Hawaiian. He's not Japanese.
Well, Hawaii's almost like a sub country of Japan nowadays. So that's not too far off.
But you could still really tell a big difference between like someone who's Hawaiian, who's Japanese. But I mean, I understand though.
No, I mean like
it probably should be
Japan pretty much owns half of Hawaii when he gets down to America owns the other half, and then Hawaiians kind of wish those two weren't there.
Raul Julia right here, Cammy, like they got all the characters at the time with the exception of Akuma, which I understand.
So you got to give it credit there because think about how many other video game movies put in everybody. You know?
I mean, they don't really have their roles down exactly because and not even all of them like know how to throw a punch, but they're there. And I guess I can't really get angry at the movie because I know it's there. I mean, I know it's not perfect. Zangief is like probably that dude who plays Zangief is probably the best part of the movie because he actually
he nails the role pretty darn well,
and
he's got some of the funniest lines.
He's the big dumb Russian guy, but he's probably the funniest guy in the movie right here. And also on top of that though, like Raul Julia, I mean, he's
like Nazis.
Yeah, you think people will get it right? The whole fist pumping, like it looks like bro Nazi, like Zihao, yo, Zihao.
It's almost like a mix of that and almost like Black Power.
They're
like Red Power.
Their masks, at least they're trying to do something comic booky with the mask rather than just because like I think sometimes they try. This is more of a thing today. Like they try too hard to make it set in the real world. Like for instance, even though I mean we both have our opinions. We both have our different opinions on the Ninja Turtles movie, but I think something we both agree on is I think it's kind of dumb the Foot Clan were just a bunch of like just normal looking mercenaries. They should have been like, I think there should have been at least a couple of guys in there with swords, other guys just guns.
Exactly, in that new one. And, well, someday I'd like to see the Foot Clan be robots for once. Mm-hmm. I mean, that doesn't have to be a total.
They don't have to all be. Maybe there's a couple of robot,
Yeah, just something just to see someday, Just
there's Cammy right
there.
there.
She looks good. She's got her accent.
She's not. Blonde. I mean, she was. I guess you could say that she's.
And Chun-Li, she looks good too. I mean, I think they did a pretty good job with her.
I mean, we all know she's actually a secret agent for Interpol, which is in the anime and the video games as well. But, And
then when this movie came out, though, I mean, really, all they're basing it off is Street Fighter 1 and 2. I mean, that's all you really had. So
I want to say they had, expanded universe. I want to say that expanded universe in the manga, and as well as the probably a little booklet you probably read, because I think that's where they had all the characters' bios.
Well, that's where I learned about all the characters, is because, on my Sega Genesis copy of Street Fighter 2 and whatnot, you open it up and every character's got a paragraph on them and stuff. But if you look at it, that's probably most of the stuff they had. Here's Ken and Ryu.
I think the two things, I guess, if you say were a little, offensive might be too strong of a word, but I guess the two biggest things would be Ken and Ryu aren't the main characters; they're the two comic relief good guys.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, the whole thing we already said, Van Damme with Guile. The other thing we got is, I guess there's four things at this point, is you got certain good guys as bad guys and bad guys as good guys. For some reason, even though the game implies that Balrog is not a good guy, Balrog's a bad guy. E Honda, if he was anything, he's a guy with his own story. If he was anything, he'd be a good guy, so that makes sense. But they have, like I said, Balrog is a bad guy, and then I don't think
this guy Sagat right here looks pretty good.
Yeah. This guy, he's just a Muay Thai. He's not a crime lord, but that works. I get that. You're trying to work.
And I get these little changes. Ken is about the only guy to me I just don't think that
just
looks
give
that
him some
good.
long hair.
Or just make it. If he was a little bit more blonde. I know in the old one he's got kind of the red hair, so I guess that's where they're kind of going with. I think the guy who plays Ryu looks good, but just too bad that they're kind of shoved to the side. But I will say this: at least they're in there. It's not like Legend of Chun-Li where they're not in it whatsoever.
The Legend of Chun-Li only had 4 characters in there, and it's not so much I think that
Charlie never even threw
a punch. If they did this today, because Street Fighter is something well known enough by this point to where who's good, who's bad. They weren't working with a whole lot when this came out, so I think that there are some things you could have read a little more and just made Balrog a bad guy, and made Ken and Ryu the main characters. But beyond that, though, look, it's an entertaining movie. It's not perfect, but it's entertaining, and look what you had to work with back then.
Well, in 1994, this movie was a $35 million movie. So nowadays that's pretty much an independent picture. Yeah. So let's just say you doubled that nowadays, or let's say you tripled it. Let's say you made this thing pretty much a $90 million movie. You put as much effort as you put into it this time, because for this time period, with fact video games being pretty hidden to, people know their Space Invaders and their Pac-Man, but it still was like a hidden thing.
Starting to put stories in the video games.
Yeah, and you can't really complain for what it is for the time.
I'll say this. I just want to. This is off topic for a second, but I noticed a lot of 90s video game movies. And it's one of those things it's PG-13, but we're still kind of aiming towards kids. They even got one of their moves right there, the flip-over move they have in the game. But when they shoot the little Nerf gun things, it's the bing bong bong bong. It has the really
kids love
cartoony.
Nerf guns.
It's the really cartoony sound effects. There are these moments in the movie where it's just let's not take it too seriously. It still is fun. I'm watching this movie. It's one of those movies. I know how flawed it is, but I can't really get that mad at it.
No, because I just think for the time and It is. This one you have to kind of say it was kind of made for children because that was your target audience. It's made for target audience probably kids age 10 to 20. Mm-hmm. That's who you're shooting for in this movie. I will say it's not necessarily a super family movie.
Dr. Doslim.
Yeah, I know. Doslim. It's what do we do with a guy from India? I don't know.
Smart, right?
What do people in India do nowadays? Well, they're mostly all doctors.
I guess you could say there's some people at least maybe you could throw a punch.
You can't be a witch doctor. What are you?
I kind of well, let's see. How do we give him his the ring thing wears on his neck? I don't know. Make it a chain, he's a prisoner.
Because in Bison, he's kind of he's like Hitler. He's sort of he's got kind of people in prison. Because that Dalsum guy, in this movie, does he need that many chains? Is he really that threatening?
You never. He might just maybe if they had a thing right, why has he got these chain things on? Because he has stretchy hands.
Yeah, we got to keep him from stretching. He's a master of yoga.
If these chains are on me, I could stretchy hand my way out of this motherfucker.
And then one of the other, I will give them credit this too. They point out that guy's name's Charlie, and Charlie's not even in the games till, I mean, obviously he's Blanka, but he's not in the games
till Alpha.
Till Alpha, yeah. So
I want to say this movie because
Charlie Alpha might have came out. Well,
Charlie, as far as I know, Charlie and Blanka are two separate characters. This movie merged the two, up to my knowledge.
In the story, that's how they are, or in Street Fighter 2, that's how it is too. In Alpha.
I remember reading that maybe at some point they split them up,
maybe nowadays they might have changed it again.
As far as I know, that they were two separate characters and they just kind of fused them together for this movie right here. And then because they mentioned Guile's looking for his best friend Charlie, and Charlie was in Charlie was in Alpha, and every Alpha every single game. It was they thought this is gonna be the last one, so you'd actually play as Alpha. You play through Alpha, and Charlie would die at the end of a lot of them because they never thought they're gonna make another Alpha game. So
they made quite a bit of them.
I mean, 3 of them, as far as I know.
But Alpha, because that probably must have came out right before, because this movie came out, said December 23rd, 1994, and Alpha probably came out somewhere maybe in spring or so, 1994. Because this is pre-PlayStation, but it coming out in the arcades.
Yeah.
So maybe that's where they got the Charlie thing plugged in there. Is this,
I'm guessing he's looking for his buddy Charlie.
Yeah. And then I thought even the Vega guy looks good. I mean, he's got dark hair, but
way fucking better than Taboo from fucking Black Eyed Peas.
And, just depending what version you play of Street Fighter, sometimes the character's hair colors are different anyways.
I mean, I know that I
want to say in the original Street Fighter 2, he has the brown hair, not the blonde hair yet, because mostly in Alphas where they gave...
He's the blonde-haired Spaniard, and that...
But in the Alpha, but I think in Alpha 2, he has just...
I mean,
not that dark.
Fine.
But he looks great, yeah.
He looks how you'd think, he looks better than a cosplayer. He looks like Vega. That looks like Vega right there. Way better than fucking Taboo.
Yeah. And
I was so pissed off because I hate the Black Eyed Peas, and... I like Vega. He's not my favorite character, but I like him. And he's one of those characters that's kind of like, I'm really good with him. I'm not that good at Street Fighter, but he's probably one of the characters I'm better with.
He's one of my favorites, actually. When I was a kid, him, Chun-Li, and Ken were always
Guy, I'm really good with. I like playing as pretty much the Ryu-like characters like Ken, Sakura, Akuma. I like playing as them. I'm not saying I'm best with them, but I like playing as those characters. I really not Dan, but
I like playing as Dan.
Vega, I'm good with. I mean, I'm not that great at Street Fighter, but I'm good enough with Vega. Like I said, Guy's one of the characters. I really like.
I got that lady just rips off Ryu's clothes, just fight him naked.
I kind of like this little bit, this girl I like the little bit. She just tosses the sign away. Vega's like, the fuck.
Fuck, that guy's so much less buffer than I am. Mm-hmm. Here, have a sword.
That guy is I imagine Ryu being a little buffer, but that guy's good.
No, I was just picturing Vega just kind of looking at him. Mm-hmm. No, I think that guy looks like a perfect Ryu.
Yeah, that is a good Ryu.
I mean, can't go wrong there. Perfect. I think they did look-wise. They really nailed the characters in this one pretty well.
Mm-hmm. The only thing is just they come up with that thing later down the line where they try and kind of we don't know how the audience is going to react with them in their regular clothing, in their usual attire. So let's make it these aren't their main outfits. This is their
street outfits.
This is their main. These are the main outfits of the movie.
Ken kind of dressed like a modern day cowboy or something.
He's the American. What are you gonna do?
You gotta get that across.
The 20 and then in the last 30 minutes of the movie, that's when they get the outfits. You said that it was 30. Is the last 30 minutes of the movie is when they get their outfits we know them for, because Chun-Li is basically slave Leia into wearing her outfit.
Yeah.
But and Ken and Ryu, they're all kind of oh, these are just kind of these aren't their. They're mosh pit, stage diving.
As Guy almost didn't say, I have my tank here. This is America.
You could have just got Arnold and just dubbed over him. Pull a Hercules in New York thing.
Well, really, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Arnold Schwarzenegger, if any of those guys that have thick accents, it's just kind of it's just strange to have them play.
He looks
but he looks good. I don't think he looks bad as Guile.
I'm gonna kick that son of a bitch Bison's ass. Colonel Fei Long.
Oh yeah, it's he can't be a movie star. But nobody likes movie stars.
Yeah.
Let's check this idea.
I kind of like they have these moments. I don't know if they said his name right there, but I know later Commander Fei Long, and he just stops. Oh, there's Fei Long. Doesn't throw a punch, but he's there for a minute.
I mean, but I always say to me,
they're there.
I always like when they can at least fit the characters in there. I don't care even if they only have 1-2 lines. At least they're in there. That to me is better than
Van Damme. Damn you! Damn you all to hell!
Should we have done something? Well, I don't know. He's really got it under control.
That should be his thing. Van Damme you all to hell. I thought it was funny. I don't give a fuck.
Sir, look, he's got a tattoo.
That's a Sagat thing, or Shadow Law. That's right, because they all go to prison now, and then they got to worry about being prison bitches. This is kind of weird. This almost seems kind of like a. Just like, yep, they're all in prison together now. How about that?
Yeah, I know.
You and Ken.
Just like, oh, we're not gonna check your IDs.
Vega and
Sagat.
Which Sagat's one of those guys. He's like much more like those. I mean, I understand once again, and there wasn't a whole lot of story for it back then. But Sagat's one of those characters. Like he's more of like he's an honorable fighter. He's like, look, if it means I get to fight Ryu, I will go join Shadow Law. I don't agree with what they're doing, but I just want to fight Ryu.
Yeah, he gave me that stupid scar across my chest.
And he'll even stop and do things kind of like he went and fought Ryu once when he was weak in the comics. He says, no, not like this. I want to fight you later when I got too much respect for you to fight you when you're weak. And he up and leaves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
he has a shiv, like shiv claw.
Well, I can't do anything without my shiv. So.
Well, like Ryu and Ken, they still got quite a bit of fight scenes, and it's not like there's T-Hawk.
He even has the proper pose, the proper like fighting stance right there that Ryu or Ken would have.
So I do feel that everybody behind making this, they all they weren't treating it like crap. They all knew what they kind of were doing. I think that. I think they're very a video game, so they are kind of making it Hollywood. They're making it fun. It came out around Christmas time, so this pretty much is a Christmas movie now.
It seems more it almost seems more like a summertime release than a Christmas
it's strange that it was a Christmas one.
Yeah.
Plus, because I almost want to say that was the time period where they didn't really release Christmas movies. Like that wasn't like a big thing to do.
I would like to see if they did. I said this before. If they were to do a Street Fighter movie, I mean, chances are they'd probably just do another like of the Assassin's Fist thing, but. I would like to see more of like the guys who did Crank. I mean, it'd have to be PG-13 still because it's Street Fighter. I think that's something that should be PG-13.
Martial arts films mostly don't have to be rated R anyways.
I think like the guys that did Crank would do a great job, really.
No, I agree there too. I think they'd be perfect.
I mean, I'm not saying to that level of over-the-topness that's in Crank, but I think that would work
I just think they'd get it.
Mm-hmm.
And they would do it right.
Plus, they're great with camera angles. I love the way they love their shots,
And, we were speaking of remakes before, but this right here, it's like, if you just kind of did the Street Fighter 2 story, like, just go with that and just make it just kind of like, it sounds weird, but like a big Hollywood movie. That's kind of be the way to do it. But just treat it with, exactly how it should be.
One I think you could do, and this is like, I guess is going a little into like, if I made the movie, this is how I would do it, but I think this would give enough reason for everything to happen the way it does. Something in Street Fighter is they're fighting across the country to go to a tournament. I believe they should do some kind of thing where it's like, all right, they're given like a smartphone or some kind of tracking device that says, be at this location at this time.
Like the Dead or Alive movie, pretty much?
Kind of like that.
They had like the little watches.
It's global, though.
Or no, they had the little like shurikens that came at them and just like told them like, yo, be here.
Yeah, but like it's more of a global thing. So it's like you got
China.
Yes, they're in China, so you got to get to this square.
Japan.
You got to get to this part of if here in time before you're disqualified. He gets there, and that's where you kind of like could almost model the scene after like an arena within the game.
Yeah,
that way you actually get locations. Because that was another thing about like Legend of Chung. I mean, here you get multiple locations, but you're all pretty much in Thailand the most time. But that was the thing about like Legend of Chung Li. It all looked kind of like just back alleys and everything, and you kind of forgot you were watching a Street Fighter movie.
I like to say that Legend of Chun-Li had promise, and that just all...
We even lied.
Yeah.
We even defended it.
Well, you know why we lied? Because we drove 2 hours to go see that movie. We were all amped up, and when you put all that time and effort in there, you kind of lie to yourself. Like, yeah, it was pretty good, right? Maybe like a 2 point, like 2.75 or so out of 4.
Yeah, 2.9, above a 2.5.
No, not really a 3, but close enough.
Then I got it for $1 at the pawn shop, and I was like, this was a mistake.
And when you spend $1, which dollars are pretty much expendable, and then you say it's a mistake, that there's something bad going on there.
Vega just flopped his hair back like he had some sass. Like, this bitch.
That Vega guy does look...
He's good. He's good. It's like, fuck you, motherfucker.
So you get Ken Ray. You got to get him struggling here, fighting. This is their way to try to get out of here.
I was like, yeah, he's...
Sagat just kind of walks by and just sits down.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit next to
this. Maybe he's almost like disappointed. Like, man, I wanted to kill these guys. They're gonna kill each other though, you know.
But you know what's a good thing about this one too is this movie doesn't do like that full tournament thing necessarily. It's kind of got, you know, because that's kind of like the downfall to most video game fighting games are all like, it's a tournament. Dead or Alive, you go to a tournament. Mm-hmm. You know, Mortal Kombat, you go to a tournament. Even Street Fighter, it's kind of like that too. Mm-hmm. They're all based off the Bruce Lee, Enter the Dragon kind of style of movie, which is a great style, but once you've seen it 15 times, that's enough.
That's kind of how I feel. I feel like every fighting game movie is a tournament, which that can be good, but it's always kind of, because always, I'm waiting for the one martial arts movie.
Poor guy, he's just doing his job. I was like, I'm just trying to close the gate here.
I'm waiting for the one martial arts movie where they go to a tournament and it's not ran by an evil guy. He says, no, I just want equal opportunity for all you people. Just have, you know, do what you love. You know,
and if you want to do a fatality, I mean, like, by all means, it's your choice. You're human beings. You can,
it's just
you
like
can make the decision.
Some really nice guy who's just like, no, I just enjoy the sport of martial arts and fighting, and I just want to watch it. That's all I want to do.
He's just some rich guy. He's just like sad, lonely, rich old man who's just like, I've just been a big fan of martial arts, and I'd like just to see it in person before I die. I have a lot of money to give away for a prize because I want you guys to really.
I can never fight myself. They'd often beat me in school, and I dreamt about beating them and strangling them in their sleep, but that's never gonna happen. But so I just want
bad asthma, so that's my excuse.
Yeah.
Fuck
so you. Yeah. So I just want to watch people just fight.
So Sub-Zero, Scorpion, you guys just look great. Can you go show me what you got?
Just punch each other, please. Just punch. I want to see you.
We get Ken shooting Guile there. This is about
gunfighter.
This is about the only thing. I always feel like, you know, if it's a martial arts movie, you could probably toss out the gun. It's not like it's a bad thing, but it's like, I don't know. That could have been a Ken versus...
I think they're just kind of like, let's be honest, some hippie can't like punch out Van Damme. He's gonna need a gun. He's gonna need help.
Yeah, hippies don't fight French.
French Americans.
Yeah, he's all American. Let's toss out this stuff.
It might make it go by. Might lighten the load.
But, you know, like, going back to, like, it's not doing the tournament style. It's really got this thing of, like, there's a guy trying to take over, you know, the world, pretty much to be next kind of, like, Hitler-ish guy.
Which I understand, but I think it needs to incorporate more actual street fighting.
Yeah.
More actual street fighting.
Because a lot of these ones never have any of the street fighting aspect to them.
Not even really Assassin's Fist, really. It was more like backwoods fighting, you know?
Well, yeah, that one's because it's just focusing on a very small story.
Yeah.
That takes place in 3 hours.
No, look, I like that movie, but it needed a fucking editor. It really did. It still is the best live action one, and I really respect what it's trying to do, and I want to see the next one, whatever it is. Because it was a good movie, but I just wish it was like a little quicker. You probably could have chopped like probably 20 to 30 minutes out of that.
Like DJ here, he's even got his hair, even though he's not a bad guy, but.
He even just plays like I'm just hanging out here. How'd you get like so high up in the ranks, DJ? I don't know. I was the DJ
for Bison's wedding.
Says you're good.
He has a wife. Well, he did. She left him. You can't see why.
Then he killed her and her entire family. You know, that's how he works. That's a Bison. That's called the Bison divorce.
What do you do? Well, he tackled her all the way across the screen, and then she exploded at the end. And he yelled out Psycho Crusher right beforehand.
And he did that to every single member of her family. Well, when they get divorced, like right at the end of the ceremony, because
that was the same day, actually.
He brought in, like, they said, like, in honor, you know how people like to come in and, like, you know, like, stomp on glass or spread rice? He brought in, like, a peasant and stomped his head in. Everyone's shocked. He's like, what? I thought you guys would be happy. And then she was getting ready to leave him. And he's just like, all right, well, I know how this has to go. Bison's old man was really proud of him, you know? He was cheering like, that's my boy.
There's a lovely picture in the background there. Just a knife standing to the hand of somebody who has rings of all the countries. Japan. There's like France,
US,
Mexico.
Bison was Bisonopolis. Somebody had to fucking write that. Somebody had to write in, what are we going to write here? Bisonopolis. I like there's Leonard Maltin is apparently his planner right there.
Yeah, I know exactly. I like how they all got these like nifty like red suits on, almost like they're working in like a Bond cave or something for.
So I want to go with Bisonopolis ever since I saw the movie Metropolis. You know, the old black and white one. And that's his evil bad guy speech right here.
Not that place where Superman lives.
Look, even the buildings look kind of like the Metropolis buildings from.
They really do. Metropolis.
From Metropolis buildings from. Fuck, what's it called?
It'll come to me later.
Yeah. Bisonopolis.
Bison.
Bison. I think they are trying to look too hard to make them like, ooh, I am so evil.
But this was that kind of time period though when villains kind of were like that. Because this is what they used to call like that comic booky style.
Yeah.
Which nowadays, if you do comic booky style, it's like, you mean
then again,
it's much different?
You can barely ever see Bison's eyes in the game because the hat's always super low. You just see this big like grin of teeth, So I guess you kind of like, well, I guess that's what we got to work with right there.
Yeah.
At the time,
as
like DJ's just like, how did you get this far again? Like, well, aside from the wedding, I just kind of like keep my hands on my hips or arms crossed and kind of look at everybody and like just roll my eyes and they say something stupid.
Also, the upside too is Bison kind of, he's kind of a man for all people, so he needed to have equal opportunity. So that's why he hired you. You're Russian. He hired me because I'm black. he didn't want to mess with that part.
Yeah, he is equal opportunity. So even though we're doing all this Nazi chatting, all this Nazi chatting, he's all he's
like how they made
he's more open and more progressive.
They make Chun-Li like she's like April O'Neil in this. Like Ninja Turtles were popular.
Yeah, I think that's like, well, how are we gonna prove she's smart? She's a journalist.
Yeah. And
she's on the case.
And E. Honda's backing her up as the cameraman. Why? Because he's fat. What else would a fat guy do? Can you really believe a fat guy would be in a martial arts tournament?
You believe he'd leave that car? Come on, look at him.
You know what's the saddest thing? I read this in my Capcom encyclopedia book. They said E. Honda was the least popular character in all Street Fighter.
Really?
And I love E. Honda. That's one of my favorite characters.
Are they just mean the original, or are they just Street Fighter in general?
Just in Street Fighter in general.
Really? He's like, I never would have assumed that.
I'm like, there's a lot more like worse characters that he's not even like. I like him. He's 90% one of my favorite characters in just Street Fighter 2.
75% of the cast in Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. Like 12 or Q.
There's so many weird characters in that
Necro.
one.
I mean, look. I'll say this about Third Strike. It's not a bad game. It's good. It's a good game. I like the play mechanics.
The way it plays is really good.
It's fantastic. But whenever I play it though, there is about maybe of all that entire roster, there's maybe about like however 20-something characters they have. Like I maybe play as 6 different characters, 3 of which are 4. Actually, no, like well maybe 6 or 7. 4 of which are Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li, Akuma, and then maybe Alex,
Ibuki,
Makoto. That's 7, and then like depending on which version you're playing, Yin or Yang.
Yeah.
So that's like 8 or 9 characters out of like the 20 character roster they have. And I'm sure they all play well, but those are just the more interesting characters to me.
Well, to me in that game, it's like, I like that game, but the characters do kind of have that feel.
In Remy, it's like, all right, would I rather play as Guile or kind of like this really emo-looking, kind of mopey, like me?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like... Whenever I think of Remy, I just think of him as like Guile's like bastard child son. He's like, Dad, I hate you. Just like darkness and hate.
Yeah, well, I hate you too. I knocked up some French bitch this one night, and you just popped in my doorstep like, oh, fuck.
Oh, God, he's wearing gay red pants.
Look, and then you got Oro, which is kind of like Dazlim's like one-armed like cousin who he doesn't talk to. He's just like, oh fuck, the Banana Man's back.
That's the one that game just feels like they have a lot of kind of like rip-off characters sort of.
Well,
it's not like it's bad. Like
what they're trying to do is they're trying to like this is like they even advertised where like Alex is the new main character. And like he was like basically a cross between Guile and Zangief, and I like Alex. He's a cool character, and I like played alright with him. Too. But I mean, he ain't kidding Ryu.
No, yeah. And I think, I understand, like, after you make a handful of games, it's kind of like, well, let's just make a game that's pretty much has all brand new characters. Because in the first incarnation of it, they don't even have Chun-Li in it. It's just Ryu and Ken and Akuma, and that's it.
Yeah.
It wasn't until the Third Strike that they finally put Chun-Li into that game.
Mm-hmm.
So it took 3 games of that series to get there.
Yeah, as I said earlier, like Makoto, Ibuki.
Like, oh god, just like, oh, thanks for
what if it's like just a zombie Guile? He just like fucking bites out her neck right there. Like I was going for a George A. Romero type vibe. Ken must be a good fucking shot. That's all I gotta say for him to like. I knew when I handed this hippie that gun.
Hippies don't shoot towards the head.
Yeah.
He wasn't in the military. I could see it in his eyes.
He ain't a fucking man. He's a puss. He was gonna aim for the fucking gut.
Makes me wonder, it's like, was he really just waiting there? He's like, I'm just going to wait here to scare somebody.
That's a good point. Was he like, any day now?
Yeah, like, how long has he been down
here?
That's
a good fucking point. Like, how long was he waiting? Like, he says, like, shit, I don't know if the one guy who, this is a top secret mission, I don't know if that one guy left the room or if he's still in here. He has a real phobia of zombies. You know, last time we tried this, he like the guy stood up like, "Whoa!" He's like, "Oh fuck!" and I hit him in the side of the head.
So this could go one of two ways.
So I just gotta wait here until someone pulls it off me and just
God, I just like to scare people. Just kind of my thing. I know the world's all in danger, but you can't pass up a good joke.
I'm really stressed out. This is for me, okay? I like kind of like they made. You think T-Hawk would be like one of the lesser known characters, or less least popular characters, not E Honda.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that such a? And it said that in the official Capcom book too. It wasn't like a fan thing or anything. Mm-hmm. Capcom themselves said, you know what, our own Japanese kind is not well respected amongst the world.
I saw,
and they said that they're like, well, people at language doesn't play very good. And I'm like, what? I think he plays fantastic because he's a character you look. He's like, oh, that character can be one of the slowest characters, and he's actually surprisingly super fast and everything.
And how can you not like him? He's like a fat dude who somehow has a 6-pack. 8-pack.
Yeah, it's like that's like the everyman.
I don't know how that anatomy works, but that's pretty awesome though. It looks like they're having the Shadowlock Christmas party out here.
I know. You know, got their tents, kind of like gypsy tents. Look, there's horses and stuff, too. I'm like, oh, I got the carnival.
They're kind of like, look, the only reason we have, like, the Christmas lights everywhere is just because, you know, Costco is having a sale, and we should have normal lighting, but, you know, it's a military compound, but...
Plus, it looks really cheap. It looks like the circus was set up, like, really quickly for, like, in Bison.
Hey, don't you guys think those people look familiar? Like that camera crew that's been going around everywhere we've been? No, fuck it. I'm enjoying this guy. Like he's gonna throw that. Look,
barrel. That fat man has an 8-pack. That's marvelous. You're just not going to see that every day. Talk about a freak show here.
Fat Hawaiian man, throw it like Donkey Kong. Come on.
I remember, like in video game movies when they used to try to put other video game references into them.
Oh, it would always kind of like just throw you off for a second. Be like, oh, they're acknowledging something. Like,
I remember in Resident Evil, the second one, like the black guy runs over like a zombie in the street. He's like, GTA, motherfucker!
Yeah.
And I was just like, you acknowledged Grand Theft Auto. They know.
Well, in Mario Brothers, there's that one line that's like, "Why do you think I was sitting like how do you do that, Luigi? Like, oh, I just sit in my butt playing video games all day or something like that." It's like he acknowledged video games in a video game movie.
Luigi just plays video games all day and he saves the world. That means I can too.
Yeah.
And he
John.
He also said, "Anything's possible, Mario. You just got to believe."
Thank you, John Leguizamo. Thank you.
You give me hope.
There's the one time DJ's happy.
You know, DJ, I'll say this: DJ's got a much bigger part in this movie than Street Fighter 2.
Yeah, no, he comes in. Well,
in Street Fighter 2, he's literally just like hanging outside, like he's like a bouncer, and Guile comes warn him, like, "Yo, people are coming after to get you."
But at least he's here doing more. But he actually does more in the Street Fighter 2 because he actually throws a punch. Here, he just sits here, arms crossed or hands on his hips, just kind of waiting to be like, "Man, the pay is good, and Bison just likes me. I just gotta hang around."
I was his DJ for the wedding. He kind of hired me because he doesn't look racist.
Because
if I'm standing next to Bison, you know that his like clan doesn't look racist because look, he hires a black guy. Equality.
My real name is Alex. I know that's not a very Jamaican sounding name, but I didn't correct him. He just calls me DJ, and
it makes him happy. He gets giddy like a little boy every time he gets.
He kind of chuckles himself. DJ. DJ. He just chuckles like I'm not gonna correct him. Last guy that corrected him got psycho crushed.
Yeah, that was when he had a rock band out there, and that didn't go so well.
Right here. Oh right, yeah. There's this part. I forgot about this.
Oh yeah, I know.
Like you killed fucking Bison.
Punch, scream, kick. The guys are
just like, "Hey, everyone, grab a gun.
Grab a gun now.
It's Christmas time."
You guys you've been good all year round here. I'll give you each a gun.
I forgot. Oh yeah, this part's almost kind of comical because when he actually pays him like $1 billion and like money with his own picture on it.
Oh yeah, just like this is the money we're gonna use and Bison.
Like, what the fuck is this? He's like, "Oh, that's good. Once we're done with the world,
it'll be worth millions.
You'll be the richest man in the world."
With the new currency.
I imagine like bringing in new currency. I imagine that is something that would probably take at least maybe a decade to work in or something like that.
It depends how quickly you took over the world, I guess.
I guess it would.
So, I mean, at least Ken and Ryu are still getting some fight price, even though fucking...
Yeah.
Ken's tied up already instantly.
I do like how they show the shadow a lot. Even the guys in the mask, they don't look sad. Just the way the masks even look, just kind of like, oh, I'm happy, kind of like droopy dog. Just the way the eyes. I'm like,
and I think that's going with like the Ninja Turtles thing once again. They're like, okay, we got Foot Clan Ninja Turtles. We'll make Bison has his Foot Clan.
If we don't see their faces, we can
use the same actor over and over.
Yeah, we can use the same 12 guys over and over. If we don't see their faces.
And hell, we can use some crew members if they're just not here for the right day.
That's got to happen at some point. That's the reason we have so many masked characters. Like Frank, Steven didn't show up today, so you throw this on.
Carry this box over here, set it down.
But I'm just the boom boy. Yeah, well, today you're going to punch the dick.
We don't got sound running, so you'll be fine.
Today, short hair Ken is going to punch you in the balls, so
you're like, get in there. Can't we get a stuntman for that? Nah, it wasn't in the budget. This movie's like $35 million. It
doesn't look super cheap.
Well, $35 million back then, that would be like a $70 million movie today, so that's actually still a pretty big movie.
Mm-hmm. Like, Shadow Law ruined my sumo wrestling career. Yeah, ruined my boxing career too. It's just like
it's kind of weird because this is like the only thing where Balrog's ever treated as a good guy, and I don't think that's actually a bad thing. It's a twist.
You could have done. Oh no,
but DJ it probably should be the other way around. Where DJ should be on their side, and Balrog should have been with Bison.
Yeah, or you could have had plot twist, like he was working with Bison the whole time, kind of thing.
Yeah, something like that.
Like, they're all getting ready to fight. Sagat and Vega's men, DJ's like, what the oh, I don't want to do this shit.
He's like, oh, man, that wasn't in the contract.
I thought I was just the guy.
I thought it was just be here. I'm like a figurehead. Supposed to...
I'm kind of their mascot, I was originally my face on the wings before they went with the skull.
I think that's where I want to...
And made Bison chuckle. He's a much more simpler man than you would assume.
I'm going to say this.
I like how they just walk in
Ken and Ryu almost have just as much screen time right now as Guile.
But they're not the main characters.
They're not the main characters still, but they, it's not like they're side characters, I guess. They're kind of like the other half of the story. If there's almost 3 stories going, well, I guess you say 3. There's the Chun-Li story, the Ryu-Ken story, and then there's the Guile story, and then they kind of intertwine.
Mm-hmm. They are probably just the C story, I guess.
Because the Chun-Li story still probably, I'd say, is be the B story. Guile may be an A.
Guile's A. Well, it's almost really, even though I can't even say his fucking name right now. Bison. Even though Bison is the bad guy, he is almost kind of like the second main character. Really, he's in the movie probably the most.
He's in the movie aside from
Guile. This part I think is actually it's simple comedy, but it's kind of clever. Sagat's little line.
That part always makes you laugh really hard. Yeah, I mean, it's nothing too complicated, but. It's just a great one. Mm-hmm. Chun-Li here just kind of explain, we're distracted by this TV.
What are you doing?
Fancy technology. And Bison just kind of looking like, wow.
I like how the little nod. You're all gonna fucking die.
And it's like, where's that truck over there?
Quick, change the channel. That's a good line. It's simple.
I love it. Just like if you change it, it goes away.
That's good. DJ
he just looks and goes,
the fuck?
How is this guy?
I like how
how does this guy have a bigger paycheck than I do?
Well, he punches things, DJ.
Yeah, he's...
That looks like, you could totally tell. They just kind of that was moving him really slow, and they just sped it up right there.
Yeah. We got some big explosions. That's, explosions are that one thing you don't get in movies anymore very often.
Mm-hmm. This
is... Or a lot of times when you do get explosions, they're CG.
That was probably the most expensive thing right there, probably, that explosion.
Yeah, that's probably one of the expensive shots of the movie. But, there's a time period where we got so many explosions, and movies are almost measured by how many explosions you can fit into one film.
This might sound dumb, but when you were younger and you saw a shot of a satellite in space, weren't you a lot more impressed back then?
Well, because we didn't get to see, that was oh my god, look at that.
This is so technologically advanced.
Space. Look, they got tracking devices and everything.
Oh, man. And that this is putting that alien tech to shame right here.
There's some nice CG going on there.
Yeah.
That actually still looks pretty good, though.
That does look like the bad guy lair kind of thing. I mean...
Yeah. It's got that kind of 007 kind of...
I think they're kind of go with that. They're trying to go with a little bit of Saturday morning cartoon, a little bit of Roger Moore, 007.
Yeah, as I feel
they actually did
what
catch
they
him.
always refer to as we don't
need to show them catching them. We just caught them.
Yeah, we got him. We know what happened. Bison got him. Take him back to the evil lair.
So what's gonna happen? We're gonna just beat the shit out of these guys, and then we're gonna slave Leia, Chun-Li, into something a little bit more tasteful, I guess.
Take these 2 foreigners out of there.
Yeah. I like how maybe I wonder if like when they do put like when they put Chun-Li into her main outfit, there is a little bit of just this like oh, so I'm getting put into this like traditional Chinese garb because I'm Asian. Yeah. You know, I'm not even Chinese. I'm actually Korean, and you're just assuming since I'm Asian.
And then Bison's like, no. I feel that the world needs to be all their own culture. I'm about saving culture, not destroying it.
Bison.
That's why. Come here, Ken Masters. You know, you need to put on a cowboy hat. I like cowboys.
No cowboys, but I say no touch.
Here, will you put on the samurai gear?
Yeah.
Samurais. Funny.
Here, Mr. Russian guy. Mr. Russian guy, you get. Here's a hammer and sickle.
Just like, and my favorite, DJ. He makes me laugh.
You be yourself, DJ. I like you.
The black man was always so good with music. Just like M. Bison's almost just like this old grandpa who's just like, he just finds the world so fascinating for all its little charms. And even if it might be slightly racist, it's just okay.
Like then he's like comes back to Blanka. Oh shit! I forgot we were making a monster in here, aren't you? Oh, he's green!
Oh, that's so cool!
He's green! He's like patting like the hand.
He's like clapping really close. Yeah. Like, is this guy really like an evil dictator? Like,
look,
he wants the world to be controlled. So if you break that mold. You know, if Ryu decides to throw on a suit, he'll get angry.
Like, he's turning this and like, no! Like, screams at the top of his lungs and psycho crushes somebody. Like a Mexican dude walks in eating, like, Chinese food. What are you doing?
That is wrong!
Everything has to be in its place.
And then he just sits down and is like, should we explain to him that he's this white guy that's living in Thailand? No, don't say that. He actually thinks he's from Thailand.
It'll break his mind. He will, like, he might explode. He just might explode. That guy could have been Guile. Shit, look at him.
That guy.
He looks like Guile at, like, you know, age 50 with a couple of, like, beers in him.
couple six-packs too many, but that's okay.
For breakfast. Each morning.
He might like those kind of guys that are at the gym
to play
that tell you.
Look, he even looks like Guile, the outfit.
Yeah, dude, this guy's gonna be more Guile.
That guy's more Guile.
He looks like those kind of guys you always see at the gym that tell you that, no, you can eat a large pizza every day and it'll just make your body better.
You just gotta do, like, you know, like, 25, like, reps.
Times 30.
Yeah.
But there's always those guys at the gym that try to tell you, like, no, you just gotta eat these really big meals full of tons of carbs, and you always like the guys you're always like, well, yes, you're big, but you're a little husky too. No, you just worked off. You shouldn't do some cardio. No, you don't need to do cardio. You're lifting weights.
I'm looking at that guy. That guy, even though he is a little bit more out of shape, he looks more like a better Guile right there.
I think so too. I agree.
This is the one part, because when they were hitting him, they're the very, like...
Where, yeah, E Honda gets beat.
Man.
It's like, we can't show a black guy getting whipped. That's too rootsy.
Pretty much.
Hey, we're telling them to bring back a pizza. See, I knew that guy wasn't in the pizza. I knew it.
Oh, I forgot about this part. They had I think soon we're cutting back to, like, Ken and Ryu getting put into the karate gis. Like, Zangief's like, all right, look, Bison's not looking right now, so Ken, you can wear this karate gi.
You can take off that cowboy hat and the vest.
Now, maybe if it's red, so maybe if we give you a blue headband, you might be like, oh, it's like an American flag, so you won't get confused. What about the white? Well, you're white, so it all works.
See, but like these karate gis look pretty good for me. Like it captures their characters good enough. I'm not gonna say they're not.
And they almost gotta give them a reason to wear it, though. It's like they're not just walking around in this. This is like their training room,
yeah.
And then they're forced into a situation where they gotta just leave the training room straight and start fighting Bison. They make him kind of smartass. Like he's like, "That's a nice gun. Hey, hail Bison!" You know all that stuff right there.
I will say that Ken guy's a little small though. He's smaller than Ryu.
Yeah. I'm guessing that's maybe somebody who was up and coming at the time.
Yeah. I mean, I know this is, you can't just look. It's like, it's
who is that? Is that Brand? I'm gonna look at the back of the box real quick. Is that the guy that played Bruce Lee in Dragon? Brandon something.
No, it's not Brandon. It's
Brandon Lee. Not Brandon Lee.
No, that's his son.
It's his son. It was he had a similar.
He had the same. He still. I think he had Lee in the last.
Jason Lee, maybe.
Yeah, Jason Lee. That's it. No, wait, Jason Lee, fucking
from
Mallrats.
Mallrats. It was a similar name though. It was like, you know.
Yeah. I don't know. I was looking at that guy too. I was like, is that who he is?
Not him.
That Dragon the Bruce Lee movie's a great one.
It is a good one. Now we get the typical, like, hello! Come, Mr. like, bureaucrat. Tell us how everything's be better. Well, we're just a bunch of pussies, so we're just gonna bend into them, because that's what we do. Look at my circular glasses.
I have glasses.
That's how you know I'm a fucking bitch.
Look, but I'm kind of hip, though, because I kind of got them in, like, a tiger print, you know?
They're all looking at each other like...
Is he really talking about that tiger print? Fuck.
If there's one thing I fucking hate, man, it's tiger prints. Fuck your tiger print, you fucking
I will
bitch.
Sonic Boom your tiger print.
I had to get past the fact you have fucking glasses and in a briefcase. That just makes me want to beat the fuck out of some nerds, man.
Colonel Kyle.
Oh, well,
here's some paperwork for you. You can read, right?
You can't bench.
I mean, like, you can't bench press your way out of this. Yeah. I will Sonic Boom you later.
I like this part right here. Is inspirational speech.
I know, he's like, we gotta give inspiration to these troops.
I'm not going to let that son of a bitch Bison. He tries to Arnold his way in there with the Bison.
I know, he really does.
Bison getting paid off all his crimes.
This is like the closest thing to like the most, like, because this almost feels like they're supposed to be like sort of like the UN, even though I know it's Interpol, but they look like they're like wearing like UN clothes.
Yeah.
They're like, we gotta put a good
We're all
name to you.
multicultural and all that. So.
Yeah, we gotta give a... This guy's angry too. He's like,
oh. I hate tiger print glasses as well. This guy's like,
He's like, wow, that speech actually...
What if they all just like gang up and just all start like beating the shit out of this like bureaucrat guy here? And then like, I don't like where this is fucking going.
He's like,
You're like, yeah, let's get the fuck.
That husky or Chinese man looking
And they
at
just
me.
kind of lose track of time. Like, we got to go now, but first let's kick the shit out of
Bison.
Let's kick the shit out of this fucking nerd. And they beat the shit. And they cuts like, oh man, we totally lost track of time. We're having so much fun beating this guy up.
It's like, sorry, Guile kind of likes to play jokes, even though in times of crisis.
All right, well, I guess we failed that. Those hostages are dead, but whatever.
Now this guy's like, oh god, let's get out of here.
Mutiny!
They've got crazy. They got a lot of Jamaican guys there. Look at that. There's an army of Jamaican guys there.
Yeah. Japanese flag, German flag.
Yeah, there's like more Jamaican guys than anything else.
Maybe they're all like, we gotta go save DJ. He was captured.
He was just doing his wedding.
He was just DJing a wedding, and next thing you know, he's up there, and he can't say anything. I mean, come on, like really, when you're like Bison's like right hand man, you can't say anything.
So Bison just looks at him, smiling like, "What?" He's just like, "I just like you, DJ." Just there, smiling.
That's him. DJ.
The funny thing is, it's two letters by themselves. You put them together, DJ. It's a name. It's his name. It's what they call him. It just makes me happy.
Does. It like describes his whole life.
It just makes me happy.
Like I just
It's
like
like, look,
peel out fucking water covers all these guys. Like, oh,
fuck your tie.
Yeah.
No, but it's like one of those things. Like, look, Bison. He's a mastermind at like ruling the world, running an army, having all these things work. But when it just comes to social skills and just
he's like a 5-year-old who's just impressed with a lot of things. He gets happy. Like everything puts a smile on his face.
Oh, I forgot about
Napoleon picture.
I want that picture in my room. Rod Julia in a fucking Bison outfit riding a horse
like Napoleon.
I wonder if
they need to show that picture more often.
That's got to be in a Planet Hollywood somewhere.
Oh my god. I'm gonna break into a Planet Hollywood like garage and take that.
Yeah, they got all the different Bison hats right there.
I know.
Now we're kind of laughing about. Oh, he's into some bondage shit here. I forgot. Does he come out just wearing like a robe? Like, here's my ready to fuck robe.
He's like, I like it.
She's like, he's just like, she's wearing a Chinese. He does. Yeah. He's coming out in his.
He's like, this is my official Thailand like robe. It's like, don't you know your? Don't say anything.
He puts on the same hat. There's this part like he does actually have pretty nice digs right there though. I'll say it's a pretty cool set.
I know we should dedicate a room to make it like Bison's there.
How many people just have like this
Bison like, man cave?
Yeah. I do want that poster though. That
poster is sweet. I wonder if you can find a reprint of it somewhere.
I doubt it. You know what?
No, you probably can't.
Not on this. No, I can't get enough for service on your thing. I wanted to look up and see like Bison poster from
Napoleon. See if they get one. Somebody's got a
neon. He just has it like, oh, here's my murder room in the back.
I got my nice book.
Tinted red, you know.
Like to read. It's kind of my color. You didn't know.
You know, red's kind of my thing. It's like, you know, it makes you people more impulsive. You know, that's the reason I put you in red. I might do more impulsive.
That guy is such a perfect like Guile. He's Guile if he became like an alcoholic and is older and now you run the torture room.
What if this is the twist? Like Van Damme's Guile's son is like, oh shit, there's the real Guile.
Yeah.
He has the green shirt. He has I think it's a green shirt. Maybe it's black. He has the camo pants. Close enough.
Yeah, he's closer than Guile.
He's Bizarro Guile.
He really is.
Oh yeah, there's this part where they get him strangled out right here.
Because they don't realize that they're all on the same team.
Mm-hmm. I think they just like, we gotta find a reason.
This is the closest part they can throw a punch at, I guess, so far.
Mm-hmm. Like, we gotta find a reason to give them the costumes. So it's like you just kind of left real quick.
Yeah, I think so.
But this part real quick. There's a whole like Hill Bison. There's that like what was it like Hill Bison? Like, these guys are fanatics. No, they said we're on the same side. There it is. We're on the same side.
And it's like, oh well. Guess you are. Dude, look at that.
That's a pretty cool. That's
chandelier
actually,
just with
that's
bones.
some like Beetlejuice shit right there. He's like, go on, tell me about how I murdered your father. It makes me hard.
I like it. I dropped him down the elevator shaft. Oh wait, that was Street Fighter V. Oh, whatever. I can't remember. I killed a lot of people's fathers.
Yeah.
Makes me laugh.
Did she kill him through an elevator shaft in Street Fighter V?
Yeah, because he like chucks the dad down.
Yeah. He has a Picasso painting of himself.
Hell, I'd take that Picasso painting.
Look at that fucking fireplace right there.
With a skull and everything. This is a badass man cave.
Mm-hmm. He's got a real thing for the red neon, though.
Does Chun-Li go into her blue outfit in this, or is she just always in the red?
She's always in the red. It's the closest thing they're gonna
It's close. I'm not going to complain there, but I just can't remember if that was true.
It's like, why is she in there? Why is she in this again? Like I said, I like the simple things. She's Chinese, so I want her in the Chinese outfit.
Yeah, we don't want to make the world confusing now.
Yeah. I get really... You know,
One time I saw a white guy on vacation wearing a sombrero, and I just got furious.
Like Psycho crushed the shit out of that motherfucker.
And there was a Canadian guy once wearing a turban, and I took my fist and smashed him. The world needs order.
And don't even get me started on the Mexican guy wearing something from an LL Bean catalog. No, but...
She even explains, you didn't even throw a single punch.
I think it's kind of... The one thing I will say, it's a little weird, because, like, you know, Chun-Li, one of her, like, main parts of her attire is the spiked, like, bracelets. Right here, it makes it a little bit more awkward and creepy because it's like it's bondage shit right here.
Because she breaks the chains.
Yeah. See, it's bondage shit she's wearing right here, as opposed to like the real, like, you know, this is a choice, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Here we go. Is this Chun-Li's first fight scene in the movie?
Yeah, I mean, there's a part where she rolls in real quick.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And we saw that she was energetic. We didn't see like, oh, well, she knows how to roll her way.
Oh, you're busting in my man cave. I'm in my slippers, my Hugh Hefner gear.
Oh yeah, we got this part right
Hang
here.
on, it's like...
He's going to grab the weapons
it's like
real
fucking
quick.
Ehon just screwed me over, distracted
Why
me.
is he's Bison? Why is he got to hide in a cave? You can't get me in here. It's plexiglass.
This is my jerk-off room.
He looks kind of like he needs to be surrounded by guns. Like, it's the only way I can come. Red light has to be shining, makes me more impulsive, and I'm surrounded by
swords.
Weapons of death. Yeah.
While watching people die of gas.
Yeah, he starts jerking off right here. It's fucking hot.
Poor Ehon's got his shirt ripped in the bag.
I want to say real quick, the transition with the yeah. I've actually, you know what? I forgot about that part right there. I forgot about this part. This part reminds me of G.I. Joe. This is G.I. Joe as fuck right here. That's why I think there's almost some other kind of script, and they just transferred it to Street Fighter.
Well,
not G.I. Joe
you could
exactly.
sort of see it, but yeah, there's something in that same kind of cat. It could have been G.I. Joe too, because G.I. Joe would have been still pretty darn popular at this moment.
You could have probably, you could have even changed the names of the characters or whatever, you know.
Like Jean-Claude Van Damme would be Duke, probably. Once again,
probably
like a super American character.
Nope, there's Colonel Fei Long.
I know, Colonel Fei Long.
He's like, hey, I'm still here. Remember me? Yeah. Get back to your boat.
I used to be in movies.
But then I went to the military.
And never looked back.
Shadowlov destroyed my film career. He's like, why is he's a Chinese guy. Why is he doing this Enter the Dragon movie? It's American.
It's so wrong.
Then luckily DJ walked in the room. And he's just, I like you, DJ.
DJ. Okay, here we go. Guy's got to plug in his cassette.
Doesn't he just put on? Oh, that's right. That's right. He's living the. I forgot about this part. It's like a wedding video about
Charlie's wedding video.
They're having a good time. Blanka, look at fucking Blanka. He looks like some of a Marilyn Manson video.
I will say, he doesn't look bad. He doesn't look like maybe amazing.
This is one of the things that disappointed me a lot, just because Blanka, when I was a kid, was my favorite character. Mm-hmm. And now it's just kind of like he's here for a minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah, all I have to say is at least he's still in it.
He's still in it, yeah. It's just one of those things, though. It just makes me a little, I was like, when I first saw something, like, yeah, Blanka's gonna be in it. They showed him the trailer. He like flipped over, like, you think like Bison is going really out of his way to like make a monster. Like, when he just said like, you know what we could all do? Get a gun and shoot at these fuckers with them. Like literally shooting fish in a barrel. It'd probably send the message more,
It's like some of the like Nazi videos and whatnot to Blanka. It's like that would make him angry.
Yeah.
It's like we'll Clockwork Orange this guy.
Yeah. I wonder if they ever do the whole like we Clockwork Oranged it.
Do you think that would work if you literally put somebody in like a cage, strapped him down, and then like played just a bunch of like war footage to him? Do you think that really mess somebody up like for hours upon hours in the day?
Hours upon hours with a strobe light going.
And then like somebody like punch him in the balls every like couple minutes, but you don't know when it's coming.
Well, what they would do is I don't know if it would turn him evil. I know it would fuck with him though. He's putting in like look, dolphins, people getting married, Martin Luther King.
Walks on the beach with children.
Yeah. See, he's becoming happy. It's okay because it's red, but that's blue right there. So he's becoming okay. He's been all right. Thank you, Doslim. He doesn't need stretchy arms to save the day.
No, he can use video clips.
Yeah.
He's like a film editor in this movie.
I wonder if it's one of those things like, look, though Doslim has stretchy arms, we just can't show it because they're handcuffed the whole time. It's kind of like the "I sure you were open" sign for Clerks.
Yeah, it's
Movie can't happen without that. Like, can't you like claymation that shit? Fuck you. No stretchy arms.
Claymation is on the budget.
Yeah. You see the size of that fucking explosion?
Yeah, the explosion.
We got the 3 guys wearing the Shadow Law masks. One front and center back there. There's 2 more back there.
There's this guy here. He's the same guy though. He's Frank.
Frank the Shadow Law, the one of 6 Shadow Law enforcements.
That boat's pretty sweet though, I have to say.
It is a pretty sweet looking. It almost looks like a bat boat.
Yeah, it really does. That could have been the bat boat like in Batman Returns.
Mm-hmm. The bat boat didn't do a whole lot in Batman Returns. Just kind of
They just kind of went through a sewer.
I'll be honest. Even though
a lot of vehicles in Batman movies though don't last very long. I don't know what it is. It's like
with the exception
we put all this money into it and then it just kind of does one thing up. I guess that's all it goes.
Not the Chris Nolan's dick, but they actually utilized the Bat vehicles pretty well in all the Christopher Nolan movies.
Yeah, they just weren't nearly as cool in that one. That was kind of like
they weren't as cool.
It was like a trade-off. It's like, well, they're not nearly as cool, but
they're used well.
The cooler they are, the less we can use them. The less cool they are, the more we can use them. It's a weird thing. It's just.
Well, I like the Bat Pod. I thought the Bat Pod was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that one's not too bad. But I just think comparative to all the other vehicles.
I like the old I like the old whatchamacallit, the old original Batman.
The 89 Batman?
89 Batman. I
favorite
forget the guy's
Batmobile.
who was
Tim Burton?
No, the guy that actually made it though.
I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head.
Yeah. That Batmobile was really good. I love the Batwing, but the Batwing and they utilize it so much better in Dark Knight Rises though.
Yeah, it just doesn't doesn't look too cool.
No, we'll get back to this just a second. I just want to say real quick. I thought it was just kind of cool because each of those movies did was they kind of the final battle was of each movie was different. The first one was he was in a fist fight with Rage. Second one, he was more just saving hostages and fighting cops in a quick little hustle with the Joker. Third one, big air battle.
Yeah.
So I thought it was kind of cool to mix it up that way. Anyway, back to this though.
Yeah, back to this and they're Batmobile.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a Batmobile made, and they're like, oh, we don't know what to do with this. Well, I'll just plug this into the Universal.
We were so excited. We were gonna make this Batman movie, then we lost the rights to Warner Brothers.
Yeah, so we've just been holding on to it for years.
Oh shit, he's making DJ do something. He's gonna pull a switch.
It's like pulling a punch.
Fucking DJ. Oh, now they got multiple guys with masks. Okay.
Would you ever just want to play
the karate guy? They just got a guy in a karate gi just waiting by. I'm here to push a button.
Put the AA guns out.
Yeah.
I guess they're not AA,
AI
boats. But Would you ever want to just play one of those guys? It's just like, okay, you're gonna be a mascot in this movie. Just walk around, carry a gun, look cool, almost like a Bond.
I guess it would be one of those things that, like, I was in this movie. Like, which one is it? I can't tell.
I can't tell. I'm not too sure.
It might be one of these other. It might be an alternate cut. That might be me. I don't know. And then who would believe you? Because you might like go through the credits and you may be like
you're probably not even named in there because you're like
you're not even you might be uncredited or something. You're the stand-in for the other mascot.
Yeah.
Like they pay you on the table. Look, if we gotta put your name on there, that means we actually
if you just get sick or
there's fucking unions. Insulting the handicapped.
That all happens.
This eye right there.
Well, it's been a while since somebody's been throwing a punch now. We've just been kind of shooting guns.
They've all been kind of staring at each other like, what are we going to do? Oh, yeah, he has his, like, evil Bowser, like...
yeah, flying pod thing.
So he's going to start throwing, like, robot dinosaurs out of it. Like, you guys fight these things.
They're like, blah, 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 blah.
He's going to throw it back.
Yeah, no, my weakness.
I didn't think they'd actually
throw it back at me. He's also like Dr. Robotnik, too, in this thing.
Dr. Robotnik, yeah. I didn't think
like,
that.
Sonic's pretty
We just got to jump on his head. All we gotta fucking do.
But I did it about 6 times.
Yeah. Be grateful. He used to have this attachment that was a wrecking ball.
Yeah. The first time the Bison tried it out, oh man, it destroyed everything in here.
He didn't really get it down. He was just flying around. I like to actually use the console like from the video game there.
Yeah, he's got like a fight stick.
It had to be a little bit of a knob, but it's a little comedic too. You know, that's this control panel right there.
Yeah, and I think that's really fun. That's kind of reminds me, like, you know, in like Men in Black 2, I think it is. When Will Smith pulls out his driving and it's just a PlayStation 2 controller. I'm like, I like that.
There's an incredibly dumb line. Like, didn't your mom ever get you a Game Boy?
Yeah, where it's just like he's like a guy who's like 60 fucking years old.
Yeah. It's like, what is a Game Boy? This right here, though, I forgot about this whole...
Yeah, we did this kind of, like, action water scene. These are ones that's, like...
You ain't need it for Street Fighter.
Yeah, for Street Fighter, it's not necessary. It's like, I almost feel like you could have put the budget into more, like, martial arts scenes, but... I'm not gonna, once again, not gonna complain.
They should just, like, you know, just fucking, like, escape pod their way there, just, like, ejection seat, boom, okay, and just, like, kick their way... I know I'm speaking, like, totally unrealistic shit right here.
Where they, like, start, like, punching, like, the mines out of the way.
We get some more punching in there, at least, you know? Shit.
Yeah.
They already escaped their pod out of there.
I like how everybody's backing up from the explosion and they're watching it on TV.
So hard to watch, though.
Well, yeah, but even the villains are
Game over! Like... Oh, shit. He made a video game reference in a video game movie.
That would have got you, though, in 1994 in the theater. Did you see this movie in the theaters?
No, I saw it when it came on video.
That's what I did, too. I watched it on VHS. I remember I was so excited. Like, when I saw it, I think I saw it at, like, one of the grocery stores.
My parents had this and Mortal Kombat confused, so they wouldn't let me watch it.
I think a lot of people, Mortal Kombat was like the one. There
was that Star Trek versus Star Wars, like Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter kind of technology. Like, I'm gonna push you down, stretchy man. If only I had my stretch hands.
I know. Too bad he can't just like throw at least one stretchy punch, or even maybe one fire breath thing. Like maybe he does something where he takes some like gasoline, or not gasoline, but like kerosene, and then poof, yeah, just something small.
They got everything else. Look like you just got shocked to the fucking vibrator.
And then see now, poor Blanka's seen all kinds of weird stuff. That guy almost looks like he's like Mario, like after Mario's seen like bad days.
You know what could have been? You have to change a few names. You want to know what could have been the Donkey Kong movie? Mighty Joe Young.
Oh, that really almost could have been.
You just got to give Joe Young a tie, and the evil Cuban guy that was trying to kill
him a hat.
He already looks kind of like Mario.
Yeah.
I was thinking right there that really could have been like the other like video game movie, you know.
Sometimes you always wonder if like somebody's like, you know, I really want to make a Mario versus Donkey Kong movie, but
Mario's the bad guy.
Yeah, but I just like they wouldn't allow me, so well then it's like I guess it's like Donkey Kong Jr. almost.
Yeah. I'd say I got a problem with Donkey Kong Jr. because not to mean this guy, but it's like Mario's my boy, and right there when I'm suddenly like this game I have to play as Mario to save the girlfriend. Now it's just like, yo Mario, fuck that guy. He has your dad, you know. It's like your dad's doing time for a reason.
That's all Mario's doing. He's just the gatekeeper.
That's kind of the thing about that. He did all that shit to get his woman back. But he's just like, police is like, no, we can't keep that donkey. The Donkey Kong, the monkey's after my wife. I gotta keep her locked.
He's only got 48 hours in here. Then we gotta let him go. I'm sorry.
So it's like, look,
we couldn't find any evidence.
He would keep on like trying to kidnapped my fucking... Oh, they actually got Cammy's moving there, though.
Yeah, they got some moves going there.
He's like, I have to keep him in here because, you know, he's just going to come after my wife again. What else do I have to do, you know?
Well, they're like, you know, his son was going crazy and trying to break his dad out. I mean, that's got to be something wrong there.
It was my only option, you know, so... Shit.
Plus, you ever met this Donkey Kong guy? He's super cranky. I mean, come on. Why do you think they call him Cranky Kong later on in life?
Yeah. It's the whole thing in Donkey Kong Country, that's actually... Donkey Kong Jr. that grows up to become...
Yeah, he's the Donkey Kong we all know nowadays, is Donkey Kong Jr. And Cranky Kong's the original Donkey Kong.
Which I don't believe... I still don't... Even Donkey Kong Jr., I still don't believe he beat Mario. I don't believe that. I believe Mario put him in his fucking spot. He's more evolved. He's not throwing barrels and his own shit at people.
He's throwing little animals down there.
I just have this... Even though I like Donkey Kong, it's like in comparison... It's like, fuck you, just donkey punch that guy right there up those stairs.
Breaking in. This right here almost feels like Commando, sort of, like, kind of like towards the end.
Mm-hmm. Or even kind of like Rambo 2.
Oh yeah, I guess that too.
Only less sand and more jungle. Never mind, alright, just that shot. Now everything else is kind of come back. No, not really. Okay. Actually, not Rambo 2. I was thinking Rambo 3.
Rambo 3 is the one where it's in the desert.
That's in the desert, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Rambo 2 is the one in the jungle.
Yeah, that's why I got mixed up there for a second. He's like, you ain't scared of... I mean, they get like T-Hawk. I think they even mentioned, like, what's with the fucking head?
T-Hawk's actually got, like, more fucking lines in this one than he does in, like, some of his other movies, too.
Mm-hmm. We need the whitest Native American we can find.
Yeah, we put a headband on him, everybody will believe it.
Yeah. Then we got... Again, I'm believe it or not, I feel like a douche saying that, but I'm not like that guy, that one douchebag in South Park, like the white man, you know, who's like blonde hair, blue eyed. But I am like actually a little bit like Native American. You wouldn't guess from looking at me, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think some of our ancestors at some point in time raped a Native American. You know,
it's just kind of like just something you didn't have video games and TV back then.
All you had was murder and rape.
Yeah, it's kind of sort of like the pastime. You didn't even have baseball. Those were like the American pastime.
To take our minds, we were all getting tiresome of murder and rape, and it was kind of like making awkward, like, dinner conversation. So what'd you do today? Oh.
So we had to invent baseball to stop rape.
That's why it's American pastime. Greatest American pastime.
Dude, here it's like they're kind of going like Tomb Raidering down here.
Yeah. Proto Tomb Raider. They gotta get Cammy a little bit more of her outfit.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's a little off color, but that's okay. Maybe it's like you didn't press
the right
punch button. Yeah,
same with Chun-Li. Hers is like the alternate.
Yeah, you just use the alternate costume colors.
Yeah.
Were you ever a big fan of the alternate costume colors? Like, I generally could I always wanted to play as the regular costume.
Not really. I was not really that big of a fan on the alternate ones.
I remember when the second version of Street Fighter came out, and they're like, best new feature, same character versus same character. I'm like, best new feature? I was like, even at that time period, I was like, really? That's all you got?
I think blue Blanka looked pretty cool. I prefer green Blanka. Blue Blanka look cool.
Well, it's like some of them have kind of cool outfits, but like overall, it was always...
I remember when they came out with the action figures, because the Street Fighter, like, super well-detailed action figures, and then they would have... The thing is, though, be like, oh, sweet, they got Akuma. He's the hardest one to find. Like, but it's third alternate, so it's
like,
just...
why do I want that? It's like, I thought that was so weird for action figures.
But then you get this weird thing where it's kind of like, well, I don't know the next time I'm gonna come across Akuma, but at the same time, it's the alternate costume I don't really care about as much. All right, now this part coming up right here is actually a little bit more of kind of like one of the really like few sad moments of the movie, I think. When he actually fights Blanka for a second, he's like, Charlie, look, he actually looks more like a I don't know, it's on the tip of my tongue here, but something out of like a it almost looks like George A. Romero zombie.
Yeah, something like that. Well, he's got that kind of green color and everything too going.
Yeah, and the heavy eyeshadow. But this part right here almost looks like, you know what he looks like? He looks like Chucky.
He sort of does.
From Problem Child? Not Problem, yeah, no, Child's Play. Problem's Child.
Well, I guess it is sort of a problem child.
Yeah. This part, like, what'd they do to me? Oh!
I had to watch Hitler and Martin Luther King. I don't know which is which anymore. Who's the good guy? Who's the bad guy? I don't know.
I'm gonna put him out of his fucking misery. This is like one of the few moments, like, oh shit.
Yeah, it really is dark. Just like
this concept. I'll help you. I'll kill this son of a bitch. You know. And then Doslim, he's bald all of a sudden when he comes in here.
It's also supposed to. It's like they kind of do that.
Was he wearing a wig? Did his hair like catch on fire or some bullshit?
He's just like, whoa, what the fuck are you doing?
Or
but
later he comes in, he's bald.
He's like, yo, he's like, let me let you know this. I can actually change it back. You know, Bison just thinks colors are funny.
He's actually he's not he's a little fucked in the head at the moment, but he's actually not deformed. He just had me just like change like he made me throw some
movie
like
magic.
He made me throw some like green Kool-Aid mix on him.
He's like, boy, you were really close to jumping to conclusions.
You just give it a few minutes, you know.
Shit, I'm afraid if like I'm out in the woods hiking with you and I twist my ankle, God forbid what you're gonna do to me.
The leg has to come off. Just pulls out this big Rambo knife.
It's the only way to save the rest of the body.
Oh, my foot's kind of cold. Frostbite! I cuts off the leg.
It's okay, I saved you from that. That disease would have taken over your whole body.
I'm gonna say it just seems like overkill right here, just to create this monster, just to kill these people. You know, you could have just been like, "Hey, we're just gonna fucking drop a grenade into that bitch down there, save on some money and manpower."
Bison likes to be creative.
He's like, "Well, we had Dr. Stretchy Arms."
Yeah. Well, what else are you gonna do with him? Like, what, make him like,
cure
work in
cancer?
the kitchen, like so he can like grab things left and right, and you don't have to like. I mean, will he be like the human step stool? No more will I have to pull the step stool out. They like grab things from the top shelf.
Yeah. He could actually go. He can cook around the whole kitchen, standing in the same spot.
It's amazing. You really gotta watch it. Makes Bison laugh.
He really.
That's what Bison does. He just collects. He just kind of collects like people from like freak shows for his amusement.
And then he calls them his family, his new family.
As long as the world's all in order, everything's good for him.
The second you break that order, no! Like Psycho Crush. It's like the idea he's so confused.
I like how like even like his own villains are looking at this like, wow, huh?
That's
we weren't informed about this plan here. Yeah, wow.
It seems kind of overkill, doesn't it?
Everybody's so interested in this. Like, ooh, what's he got?
And then Van Damme comes out of here kicking Bison in a second, I believe.
Yeah.
Like, look at that fucking kick. Whoa!
There was like a sonic spring pad in there or something.
Yeah. What if they had the bang? You hear that little noise? Here's the gun. That one guy, for some reason, he just shot, I'm not sure if it's a movie fuck up or what, had a cord as he fell down. Like, he was hanging on a cord.
This was still a time period before they like cut the cords out. So if the cord got seen by like the light.
But like for some reason the guy was that guy had a cord attached to him as he fell down. So I think we just spotted a movie fuck up.
Yeah, probably. It's okay, Zangief is here to take care of business.
I'll hide behind these styrofoam bricks.
Those guys like, oh, if I just slam right into that bill, it'll break my fall.
Don't worry, I broke it with my face. It looked like someone just gave like Van Damme a real like hard hit to the head. Like look at the left side of his forehead. He just has this huge like welt.
One of the guys fell off on top of him.
Yeah. This part right here.
The guy
oh shit! There's no time. No time to get out of our workout geese. We gotta go there now. We have the guns. Fuck the guns. Fuck the guns. We'll just go fight them.
Look at this huge like shootout going out here. So this is one thing. It's like okay, like don't get me wrong. I love me a good shootout, but I just don't think it's necessary in this movie. That they could have been throwing some punches there. I know that it seems unrealistic for a bunch of henchmen not to be carrying guns this day and age, but
work it in there.
Just work it in there. Give them swords. Give them martial arts gear. I don't care.
Do some, yeah. I mean, and all the excuses I'm gonna think of like how they don't have guns is actually more convoluted and stupid. Like, what if they have laser guns and there's an EMP? Like, oh, I got no reason but to punch each other now. You know, it's getting more stupid and convoluted. The more
but at least I know as long as it just. I don't care how you get there, as long as they just throw punches in the end.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here we go. E Honda's having his comeback right here.
See, and then they get E Honda find Zangief, so at least he gets to throw some punches.
And this is kind of like the classic big guy battle right here.
Yeah, he like Pokemon tackles him right there.
Yeah. It's just like dun 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 dun, like playing. I guess 3 or 4 years before the fact.
This is actually 1 year before. Oh no, like Pokemon would have came out like not too much longer after this movie.
Japan. 96, 97?
95.
95. Really? It's been out that long?
98 in America, so that's why it doesn't seem nearly as long. But
I remember being 99, but I guess it was 98, I guess.
I got that sweet poster. It's from Nintendo Power, and it says, coming soon to a Game Boy near you, Pokemon.
Oh, he was flat out grabbing his balls right there on that slam. Oh my god! Oh,
these got like sucked into a hole.
Yeah, that was like some Sam Raimi shit. And it feels weird sometimes watching this movie because
the ball gets to throw some punches.
He says, "Luckily, I brought my workout clothes with me just in case."
I knew this was gonna happen. I knew I was gonna be able to throw some punches.
But I'll say this real quick. Oh, well, going back on like sort of on Balrog, one of the few things about Street Fighter: Legend of Chun-Li, the best part of that movie, and this isn't even kind of like, oh, this was even bad. The best part easily was Michael Clark Duncan. Michael Clark Duncan was like the best part of that movie.
There is some moments in that movie, I will say. I'm not going to deny that.
Michael Clark Duncan, and that's unfortunately it.
You could probably edit that movie into like a 10-minute masterpiece.
Just Balrog, the untold story.
It would work great as a short film.
Just a short film about Balrog, yeah.
Just put all the really good scenes
I mean, he was
in there.
firing a gun, but he was still like the best part. He felt like Balrog.
Yeah, I thought that was a good choice too. In Legend of Chun-Li, there's Chun-Li, Balrog, Bison, and Charlie. That's...
And Gen. They wouldn't be able to tell it's Gen. Yeah. And it was unfortunate. It was actually sort of a crossover because it was the dude that played Liu Kang in Mortal Kombat, but he was playing Gen.
Oh, that's right.
And he had kind of
was sort of like the.
He had kind of like a faint stubble.
Yeah, I do remember that now, sort of. Mm-hmm. So now we're getting our Steven D'Souza like classic action stuff.
Yeah. Like
this is all. Now we're getting some punches.
This is all well-made action. This is all well-made.
I just don't think. I mean,
we don't need punching as much.
We just need more punching, less shooting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Well, what we could have done, we could have just done like had it where all right, all the shooting's going on, but you know, all the fist fighting characters tackle each other into like their own area, and they're all just
maybe just like some shooting going.
Here's DJ like I'm getting the fuck out of here. This is my last chance. See DJ, isn't this cool?
Now he's really thinking over his job, just like God. Okay, let's just see here. Reevaluate.
I'm either gonna die here or he's gonna psycho crush me for leaving him.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I would rather die somewhere else, not being psycho crushed.
Yeah.
It just everybody seems to be in a lot of pain for like that moment.
It's like, you know, we should probably remove these fucking like bison like things on our jacket, otherwise
we might get shot.
Yeah. Just like, oh, I almost shot that guy. He's wearing the same outfit, but he's not wearing the badge, so he must be on our side.
Did they ever get across in this movie that Ken Masters is rich?
I don't know if they did. Maybe they did. I want to say that they're two con men.
Ken Ryu?
Yeah. Ryu is still more the noble one because they just had the whole like, hey man, we're going. Like, fuck that. We got to get out of here, you know? So.
Yeah. I mean, like, as I said, it's like they for as much as what they had to base this off of, which is like not very much. Mm-hmm. You know. Well, they did a pretty good job. That's why I have to say. And I know this movie does kind of get like a lot of flack from people, but you know, I think it's people always think of movies like, you know, they're thinking of it like in a 2012 perspective or something like that. You know, modern day, like once we have other kind of movies that maybe did it slightly better and so on. Not Street Fighter wise yet, except for Assassin's Fist, but you know, really, I really can't complain actually now that I think about this movie. I mean, I can complain some minor things, but you know, just when I'm thinking of just it in the time and like what came before it.
That's kind of you got a little Indiana Jones gag right there.
I don't know. Pulls out a knife. Everybody's got guns.
Everyone just thinks like, oh, they're all backing away. Like, oh, I did good. Like, oh, these guys I'm fucked up.
In this movie, he does throw a sonic boom, right?
No, he does like the move, but doesn't actually shoot any lightning or anything out of it.
That's probably about the only other kind of like select plays. Nobody's throwing a Hadouken or a sonic boom or something, you know, Psycho Crush you.
Mm-hmm. No, Bison gets it because he gets electrocuted at the last minute.
Oh yeah, that's right.
What's gonna happen in a second? Unarmed combat.
Sorry, that this is that movie where you always.
I'm not like he's like talking to the TV screen. He's just like, dude, I'm right fucking here. Yeah, well, shit!
Don't look at the Tyrotron.
I'm sorry. There's a big screen. He was talking to me. I got a little confused. Look around Julia. He looks so excited right here.
I know. He's just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
He's
kind of like rape eyes.
Just take a picture of just his face right there on your ceiling above your bed, looking down.
Or just
try and go to sleep.
Hanging in front of your toilet.
Try to go to sleep. That there.
So that when your guests come over and they close the door, all they see is that looking at him. They're like, it's a little. Does he have to look at me?
It's like that episode of Frisky Dingo. It's just like, it feels like John Hunter is watching us have sex. He's like, yeah, I know. The same thing. It feels like Julia is watching me take a shit. Yeah, I know.
There's like a picture in like I think it's in
Captain SWAT. Oh, I thought that was Fei Long. Fei Long's not even in this shit. Fuck this movie.
Wait, that's not Fei Long. We've just been calling him Fei Long this whole time.
Yeah, they said Agent SWATA.
Maybe they gave him a third last name.
Fuck this. I'm done. Get up and leave.
I like how they do it like they're
That's
like
the last straw. I just assumed, I going off memory, I assumed one other Asian dude. It's got to be Fei Long. I mean, they say, like, they can just pass the movie poster, like, oh, coming soon, the new Fei Long picture.
Yeah, I know.
Kick him into a Super Mario Bowser-looking box.
And then start throwing bombs into there. Now they're fighting, like, the Dr. Robotnik machine.
Yeah. You know when the Sonic movie
you
comes
gotta get
out?
6 hits in there. He's like smashing
That is awesome. That is like I think it's one of the greatest shots of the whole movie. Just the sad, distant shot of him like knocking him out. This is actually kind of like I feel like this maybe not intentionally, but sort of like a nod to Super Mario Bros. Because like remember that like Bowser or like Koopa Hopper is hanging like is in that little like thing like dangling over the city, and then like the fucking fuck, I can't believe I'm trying to blank on his name. He passed away unfortunately. What was his name again?
Which guy? Whoops.
Oh, what happened there? Oh, it's still playing. Okay. Roger Rabbit.
Oh, Bob Hoskins.
Bob Hoskins is crawling along the bottom and has to jump on the other side. He's like, "Give me that rock, monkey!" It's kind of like that part right there.
Yeah, that's true. Soon we're gonna have to do a Mario Brothers one.
Yeah. He's like walking around with gloves just in case I hurt my hands during this battle. Exactly. I don't want to hurt them too much.
No.
He's doing breakdancing right there.
Yeah, I know.
I guess that was probably the closest thing. Gets to that one attack where Guile like does a backflip kick.
No, he does right there.
Does that right there. Yeah,
there it is again.
They put that on a loop right there. That's the kick I'm thinking of. There it is when we're in midair. We're just kind of like.
Oh, he did like flips.
He flips and kicks in the air. Yeah. This looks like the eye movie kind of like electric effect right there.
I know. It really does actually.
This is where he gets his electrical powers.
John Claude Van Damme's looking good right there. He always looks good in movies though.
Yeah. I was glad they brought him back for Expendables 2.
I know that he plays a great role in that.
Guess we're done with this shit.
Here, take this.
Though they always had that one weird thing where I was wondering because like when you play as Guile, older version of the Street Fighter, Guile would have the American flag tattoo on both sides. They just like flipped them so the American flag would be backwards on one side.
Yeah.
So I was almost kind of wondering would they do that in one of these like movies, just like just the backwards American flag tattoo.
Do you remember that kid seeing like those portable TV sets and thinking they're like the coolest thing in the world?
Yeah, I remember when I got like the I felt kind of a little bastard, but I remember when I first got the that's got to be a machine right there. That's just not his chest. They got like to have like a fucking xenomorph popping out of him or something.
Yeah.
No, but there is like there's that thing you plug into your Game Gear.
Oh, the TV tuner?
Yeah.
That thing was such a cool invention.
Yeah, but at the same time, it'd almost be effort to watch television on that thing because you could not move.
Oh, because you get the signal and whatnot. So.
Yeah.
I just remember small things like that just blew my mind. Maybe you could get one of those for Game Boy too.
It blew my mind that I was watching. I got it on like somehow I got it on. I don't know what channel it was because I remember it being on like on the Family Channel, but. Maybe got on some other channel eventually. Watching the Super Mario Brothers show on the Genesis. I'm like, oh my god, if Sega knew what I was doing, they'd probably send like a missile to my house right now.
It's like they sold it. They made the TV tuner.
I was like, almost felt bad, like.
But I remember that being like, it's like once like you could just watch TV with a regular TV antenna, but no, I got a portable one now.
It was like Mario was fucking Amy in Sonic's bed,
I just remember like playing with one of those like TV tuners on Game Boy, and I had like my PlayStation hooked up to it, and it was just like, this is so weird but cool at the same time. Mm-hmm. I'm playing Final Fantasy IX on a Game Boy Advance.
This part right here. Oh, where you go? Yeah, that's this part. He has to finish off his battle with Vega. They kind of made Vega his arch rival in this movie.
Yeah,
I understand. Sagat. They're all like sneaking, like, wait,
he can't see us.
We crouch low.
We're just two big guys.
He doesn't have peripheral vision.
Well, there's sirens going off and all kinds of stuff.
And where did I leave my sandals? Damn, I want to leave my sandals. Oh shit! Fuck.
He's got like his Bruce Lee cut.
Vega's one line in the movie, but he's probably the best Vega we've ever had, I'd say.
Yeah, he's a really good one, yeah.
Out of the two live-action Vega. I guess if you want to include the Street Fighter. You know what's another really good live-action Street Fighter? I mean, it's not really canon. Well, they isn't canon either, I guess. It's the College Humor like miniseries Street Fighter: The Later Years.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen any of that?
I remember when that came out.
It was funny, and there was actually, I mean, for a while, it's everyone just kind of trying to get together to start another tournament. Bison's in a wheelchair. It's basically, I guess, sort of like, not to bring it to us, but I guess like kind of like drunk Batman, but with Street Fighter characters. Everybody like
just people in the like what happened to him later on. Here we go.
Yeah, like Ken can't do like
you're a final crusher right there.
Yeah, Ken can't do like a Hadouken anymore, but Ryu got rich because he like how do a Hadouken? You know, he's rich. Like, oh, Ryu's the only one who's rich and famous now. But you find out that actually Ryu, they think E Honda's dead. You find out that E Honda's not really dead. He got liposuction, and he actually took the place of Ryu, and they trapped Ryu in a wall for like all these years, and he comes out at the end. So,
yeah, I remember when that came out, but I never really watched any of them. I feel like I saw one maybe or something like that. But
like Chun-Li and Blanka were like Chun-Li and Blanka were dating, and Ken had a thing.
How like Bison's just like kind of like flying around.
It's like, look what I learned how to do like 5 seconds ago. Woo! Yeah. If he was impressed with like just the little things, like DJ, he is so fucking impressed that he can fly now.
He's like, Guile, look at me fly.
Woo! You know, like making the sound effects as he comes in. Raul Julia, I know he's too old to be doing this, so you know that's got to be like him just kind of coming like, all right, yeah, I'll just come in and swing in for a second.
Yeah, swing me in, Adam. Just let me, yeah. I like it's kind of weird because you think it'd be the other way around, where like because mostly Ken's rival is always like Vega.
Yeah.
So you think they would have just flipped that?
It's Pretty Boy versus Pretty Boy.
Yeah, and then you know, obviously Ryu and Sagat because they're just always fighting.
Mm-hmm. Well, they got like an honorable like. Oh yeah, this part. I want to see even right here they have a cartoony sound like when they're like punching the bag right there.
But I will say that at the same time, it's like
it's a pretty
once
good
again
fight
like
scene.
this. They didn't have Street Fighter 2 movie out yet. They didn't have well, I don't know. That Street Fighter 2 movie, because I know it came out in '95 in the U.S., but it might have came out in '90. Might have came out the same time as this though in Japan. Mm-hmm. I'm not too sure.
That's pretty dark for Ryu right there.
Like, I'm gonna shove your head into the burner.
He has the whole my face.
And what is that burner they're doing in the gym, anyways? Like,
I don't know. I think this is probably originally just the boiler room, and they converted it to a gym. Bison was pinching his pennies on some like space and all that, you know. They even got the he can lose his knife thing. His stabby stab.
And then Ryu was doing a testimony.
Yeah.
Fucking Ken's getting some punches in.
Fuck you, Rat Patch.
Does he throw a Shoryuken in here?
No, I don't believe they ever throw a Shoryuken. If he is, they don't say it.
Yeah, I can't remember. And like even if they did a Hadouken and like maybe a fireball didn't come out, but he just kind of like hit him
like that,
like Ryu Hayabusa and like Dead or Alive.
That's what the original attack is. It's just made like they made a fireball out of it, but it just like you hit him in the really hard with both hands, palms, right?
Yeah, because Ryu does that in Ryu Hayabusa. Let me rephrase to our Ryus here. And Dead or Alive, he has that attack, and I always go Hadouken.
Okay.
And then finally in the DS one, he literally shoots a Hadouken, and it made my day.
Question.
Yeah.
Ryu Hayabusa versus Ryu. Who do you think would win?
Oh, that's a tough one. Because, I both like those characters quite a bit. I like Street Fighter.
Dude, look what I'm fucking doing! I'm
flying! Aren't you impressed?
I can fly! I can fly! He's like singing the Peter Pan song.
Stop singing!
I can fly! Sorry, that's the only part of the song I know. Anyway, oh fuck!
Bam! 3 times in a row.
Oh shit balls!
See, that would have been the perfect part for him. Maybe Guile touches.
Oh, there's your second.
We get an explosion. Maybe he touches some electricity. Maybe the electricity wears off, like from Bison hitting him, and then he charges up into a sonic boom and throws him back into there. I mean, I know I'm like trying to edit a movie that's 20 years old by now, but isn't that amazing? I think this movie's 20 years old now. It's going on 21.
Yeah. I like the guy in the front just kind of tiptoeing his way out of there.
They actually have a pretty good battle going right there.
They do, and it's kind of like the big guy versus the big guy.
And then Cammy comes in, joins them for Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li, not Fei Long.
Like, hurry, all right, help me out. Like, no, he's big. You're on your own, fatty.
You said you want to lose weight.
A better way than running for your life.
Yeah.
Fighting a Russian.
DJ! Oh, the supercomputer conductor blowing up. Yeah, you can really see how this could have been like G.I. Joe movie though. Like when you really think about it, like maybe that's not the for this time period. Maybe that's not the worst thing. A G.I. Joe Street Fighter crossover kind of is what it is.
That looks perfect for Zangief though. That dude is like.
I know it's like he's got the markings and everything. It's like I was so impressed by
weird
this
scars
guy.
and yeah.
Yeah, it's just like he got that part down so well
From wrestling.
And I said, look, DJ looks like,
wrestling.
whoa, I should take DJ out of his outfit though, or his like his red suit.
Put him in the orange.
Yeah, I mean, like look, he looks good too.
Yeah.
As I said, I think they got the characters down pretty well, and I think for the most part they got their personalities. You know, once again, it's 1994. All we've had is a couple games by now. Alpha might have just came out. Mm-hmm. So we've never really had cutscenes yet. We haven't had an animated series.
We still just kind of have like the stills, the text, you know, or even so much of the character just standing there in a normal fighting pose, you know. Yeah,
exactly. Like Guile, he's American. He's in the Air Force. What more do you need to know?
He's looking for his friend Charlie. Fuck you.
You know, so it's like, as I said, I'm like, you're really basing all these characters off like a paragraph of like story. So by putting it all together, you know. I just think once we have all this story kind of worked out, that's when I think that there's no excuse for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Saying you come in, realize you just really, I'm on the bad guy side? Okay.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought I was here to wrestle.
He said he liked my funny accent.
It made me laugh like a little girl. Jamaica, here I come.
Here we come. Together.
Just like... But DJ, I love you. Why do you think we always hang out together?
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought because we work together. That was a work thing.
See, look, now he has no hair. Did it burn off? What the fuck happened there?
I don't know. He's like, this is how I was meant to look.
Can go back. I'm a freak now. Like, well, yeah, I'm done.
He's kind of like
I got out of these, but I could use my stretchy arms, but there'd be no point in using it anymore, you know?
That's the one thing. Is maybe, if you just did a Yuga Flame, I don't know.
Yuga Flame?
Yeah. Where, like, if you just, you know, I don't care. Even if you did it like he was fucking, like, Gene Simmons,
I just
like,
feel
blowing
bad
fire.
for both of them. It's like, we could have, like, you could find another life out in the jungle by yourself, you know?
You might find love.
Yeah.
They're like, no, the world's not ready for an Indian man and a green monster. Not yet. Give it time. Oh, here we go. Here's like our third big explosion movie.
Look at those guys literally just crawling through the mud. On hands and knees through the mud. Go make it out. Go let him make it out. Oh, fuck. He's coming around over this corner in just a second. Like, I'm alright.
He just goes busting out here. Now, what did DJ steal again?
A bunch of money. That's ultimately useless. Alright, fuck it. We don't care anymore. Here's our money. Those guys, we never got a chance. We were like punching around. Don't ask us how we survived.
It's just who's under the mask now.
Yeah.
So that guy's like,
Kid and Ryu were just like,
I don't want to be pushed.
Kid and Ryu were looking at each other like, good thing we tore those fucking, like, those little Bison name tags off.
Yeah, boy, that could have been bad. I need my severance pay.
This is what it is. It's all
they
just,
open it up and it's all the money.
It's all the Shadow Law money.
See, look, there's that scar for
he had it like for one other part, I think.
Oh, is that in one I've seen? Okay.
But he was wearing like, you know who he kind of looks like right here? I was drawing a blank this whole time, but he looks kind of like God,
look at the Zangief's just so perfect.
Fuck, I know. Sagat looked. I had it in my head just a second ago. I knew who Sagat looked like, but we drawing a blank. Yuck. He looks like he looks like.
He also like
he
tries
looks really
to
young. He looks really young, but just very tall.
Looks like a young Billy from like
or like Casey Jones. Or Casey Jones.
Yeah, that too. That Ninja Turtles was popular. I put a Casey Jones like character in there. Was he Native American? No, I think he was Italian. Whatever, fucking same thing.
Both tan.
Yeah, both tan. Both have funny accents. Both probably like hockey. I don't.
If I had to guess.
Italians like hockey.
She got her scar. That's how she gets her scar right there.
Yeah.
You think they planned on a sequel?
They probably did. I don't know why not. This movie made like $100 million.
So it did do good.
So yeah, I mean, it made 3 times the amount it cost to make it. Plus, that's like Ninja Turtles money right there.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm kind of surprised they never made a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Mortal Kombat made a sequel. I'm surprised this one didn't.
Flag right here. I think he's gonna hit on Chun-Li for a second. Yes, they're doing. This is almost kind of like their whatchamacallit. Their
thumbs up, soldier.
This is almost kind of like their Dorothy, kind of like, I'm gonna miss you, And you most of all, like Guile going to each one of them at the end.
Just like, oh, we worked out our differences.
He said everything except Chun-Li, April O'Neil here.
How about that interview? I like how like Zangief's just like, you know, you're working like it's pretty much like you were like second in command to the next Hitler, but we're not, you know.
You're cool.
You're cool.
You held that door open. None of us else can open that door, so clearly.
You're totally clear.
He was just confused.
Yeah, I mean, look at him. He thought if we changed the channel, it'd fix problems. Oh, there we go. We got a fourth explosion now. How many times can you blow up that?
And I just lost my best friend, but hey, shit happens.
Yeah! Fucking
Let's
Dukes
all
of Hazzard
pose.
pose. And they all kind of do like their pose. If you go back to that really quickly.
We're rewinding. You don't have to.
Yeah, you don't have to rewind this. But if you just look at it.
They all do their pose.
Yeah, look at they're all doing their kind of official pose.
Oh, I guess that one Asian dude was supposed to be Fei Long, even though he's not named Fei Long. He's sort of
doing a pose. And like, yeah, Ken's got his arm up. Cammy's like showing her ass. Ihan.
No, you can't see because the
Street Fighter's in the way. Ryu's just kind of looking like, yo, what up?
That's what Ryu would do. He'd be looking into the wind kind of thing.
Balrog's got his arms out. Zangief's putting his fingers up. So you're like, they got the crush, you know? They got, you know, I really think this movie, you know, going back in retrospect to this movie, this is one of those movies where I kind of used to go back and forth between like, man, I kind of enjoy this, going like, it was an okay movie, to, I kind of enjoy this, it was an okay movie. You know, really, when I just look at it in retrospect and just like, I take myself back to 1994, I think it's actually a pretty good movie for that time period. I will even say, I think it's almost like a 3 out of 4 for that time. In retrospect, it's probably like a 2.5 out of, 4. But I think for that time period, you know, when you're just comparing to everything else around there, it is pretty good. And they do get the characters as good as, they get better than, I'll say this, they get better than a lot of other video game movies that were made in the 2000s.
Yeah, no, I'll say, like, as I said earlier, I know this movie's problems, but on top of that, I really just can't get angry at it because I know how little there was on the movie. And plus, I mean, I'm not trying to sound like this guy, but even like the aspect of being kind of like, well, there's mangas and there's maybe 2V, the anime was out by this point. I don't know. But it might have. But even that, though, it probably still would have been hard to get a hold of back then.
Well, because I'll price this. There might have been mangas and anime that was in Japan, but not in the U.S. So
yeah, and I guess even if they were doing research, Japan probably would not even think to send them the manga.
No, they probably sent bios on all the characters, pictures of them, and that's probably what they all based off. And they probably just played the game, because this is the time period. It's not like, okay, now sit down and play this 30-hour game.
Yeah.
It's more like, okay, guys, sit down, play some Street Fighter in the arcade for a bit. Okay, you kind of got an idea what this is all about. Yeah, okay, let's write a story. And I don't mean that like in a bad way, but the game, you could sit down. At this time period, in about an hour, you could probably sit down and understand what Street Fighter 2 was. Mm-hmm. You could sit there, read the book, and then play the game for 45 minutes, and you would know exactly like.
You get the idea.
You would get the gist of like what this is all about.
You would just need to play your character, really, is all you'd have to do, probably. Just watch their moves, how they move, walk.
Yeah, and then, as I said, just read the little, like, paragraph on every single character in, like, the Sega Genesis manual.
Now, they have a little, like, Bison thing at the end where his fist pops out of the bricks.
Saying it's almost like, there might be a sequel.
And then, like, arm, like, weapon, and...
Yeah, I kind of wish they made a sequel to this. I mean, obviously now they can't do it now, but like something would have came out
there
like
probably would have been a whole.
97.
I guess you could have been like they fought Akuma next, maybe.
Yeah.
Or you do kind of like you do the Lost World thing, where instead of like Sam Neill, you got Jeff Goldblum, Ryu and Ken go against Akuma.
Because Ryu and Ken in this movie are really like the Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, but Street Fighter 3. When did Street Fighter 3 come out?
97, 98.
So not too long.
So
you're gonna get all the characters.
Well, I was gonna say you could almost make the next one would probably just be like an alpha one. So you'd have Akuma in there. You could start throwing Sakura. You could throw in Rose. Jin, a bunch of those kind of characters, and start putting even like the Final Fight characters in there, and kind of making that story. Mm-hmm. You keep maybe people's favorites from number 2, but you don't have to maybe have everybody.
You don't have to have Guile. I mean, even though like Van Damme, I believe he did the best he could, but you don't. I mean, I guess just focus on Ryu and Ken for this one.
Yeah, that'd be the thing to do. Is just make Ryu and Ken, and then Chun-Li probably, and then other than that, though, you could probably just make them all alpha characters. I know that would kind of bother some people. But there's so many characters, you got to kind of give them all their own time. It's like, there's only so much screen time that you can give to everybody.
Poor DJ never made it to Jamaica either.
I know. He didn't have the money to afford it.
So, I thought the pay was good. I didn't realize he was paying me his own currency that he made up.
Yeah, fucking wampas. That's the best way to tell people. They're like, oh yeah, I'm paying you, and then once you pull it out, you just put a bunch of fucking Monopoly
your
money.
Your money with your face on it. What the fuck is this good for? It's like my respect.
Everywhere you go, you'll have a picture of me in your wallet. Paul, Salty Dog.
Is that like? Oh, that is someone's nickname out of it. Oh, not.
But as I said, I think this is literally the second video game movie made because I think it was Mario Bros. And this. I don't think there's anything else.
Double Dragon before this, maybe.
That's I guess that could have been. That's either 94 or 95. I'm not too sure.
We want to get really technical. Clue. Video game movie.
Not a video game movie necessarily, but they made a video game of Clue. But yeah, I guess that's a little bit dead. But
that's kind of, I guess, the first attempt at making kind of like
really the first video game movie you can kind of say it's not it's not based off a video game, but it's Tron.
Yeah,
because that one almost kind of captures almost a video game pretty darn well.
It's almost more like
Street Fighter performed by Ice Cube.
Ice Cube. Well, I noticed even the next one, like Street Fighter Legend Chun-Li, there's some rap song in there somewhere. It's like Street Fighter, Street Fighter.
Street Soldier performed by Paris.
LL Cool J.
Oh, nice. They got all the rappers in there.
Yeah, they got a lot of big people in here.
I remember they kind of had a big soundtrack for this bad boy.
Yeah. Well, they'd always put like a lot of hip hop in Street Fighter games.
It was the 90s.
Yeah. Well, they did like when the Street Fighter 3, like you're on the world of Street Fighter 3, third strike. Right.
Like they had to put the image of Martin Luther King, but none of the rest of them have to put that stuff on there.
You have to pay someone. You wonder if you pay for someone to use the likeness of Hitler. Do you think you have to pay someone for that?
Clearly not, because it wasn't there. Maybe he's, I guess he's in public documents now, or public domain.
Martin Luther King, I'm surprised you have to pay for that,
Yeah, you think that'd be in public domain, too.
I wonder if you just, here's a little, statue to Martin Luther King, we respect, hey, pay us some fucking money, It's like, wait, I'm just idolizing this wonderful man that once, lived.
Yeah, he likes his money.
Well, he doesn't. We do. We own his...
We own his likeness.
Oh, the irony is sinking in.
Who owns the likeness of Martin Luther King? Well, the Ku Klux Klan do.
Of all things.
Yeah, well, we're...
Ironic, isn't it?
Strange enough, we might be crazy, but we ain't stupid. We know people love themselves some Martin.
This part right here, here's where I get our little kind of is it over? Oh, no.
Too, this is also that period where, there's a handful of movies that would have kind of these ending credit things here in the 90s as well. People kind of think of it kind of being this new Marvel thing, but this was a big period too where there's a lot of movies that still have it.
I think the thing with Marvel is
because
he's actually controlling it, you can't even see him. He's like
world domination, reply. Or replay.
Fuck.
And we go into our sequel that never to be.
We're just he just launched the nukes, we all died, don't matter.
Don't matter, it's over. That's why there's no sequel.
Yeah. No, but I think the thing with Marvel is now we're ensured it's going to happen at the end of each movie, and usually it implies, not all the time, but usually implies
what they become.
That's why for a while they were annoying me, because there was just some funny little joke at the end where for a while it was here's what's next. Where the Howard the Duck thing, that was we're not going to get a Howard the Duck movie, so I thought that was kind of clever. But other things though.
Oh, there is a fucking commentary on here.
Oh.
With directing Steven D'Souza. Well, he probably has better things to say than we do, but that's okay. Yeah. He's not going to talk all kinds of other Street Fighter stuff and talk 20 years in the future.
Yeah, and what was going on really in Bison's head.
Yeah, he wasn't there to point those things out, how much he really loved DJ.
Anyway, well...
That'd be an interesting commentary to watch someday, but yeah. Any final thoughts on the Street Fighter, the movie?
A little, it's not perfect, but people beat it up more than they need to.
Well, people, I don't know what it is. People, they get that thing where they almost forget, there is a difference between, an adaptation and something that's supposed to be just straight. When it is adapted, they got to change it a little bit. And, I feel for, the times, I think they did a great job.
Yeah.
As I said, I think when this movie came out, I think for what they did, effort-wise, I say I give them a 3 out of 4. Mm-hmm. Maybe nowadays, I'd say maybe it's a 2.5 out of 4, but... I still think it's, it's not bad. Not
it's worth checking out.
Yeah, it's worth...
If you at least like Street Fighter, I think you should at least see it. Part of your Street Fighter history.
Yeah, it is part of growing up a Street Fighter fan, but, not nearly... It's not perfect like the Street Fighter 2 movie is, pretty much. And I love that one. And then some of the other stuff. But, as we said, it's the second best live-action one. Mm-hmm. Out of the 3.
Believe me, that's loads better than the third best.
Yeah, that the Legend of Chun-Li movie is just sad, and to think that we drove many miles to see it.
Yeah.
and conquered many lands.
I'm getting sad. Let's change.
But,
money went to that in more ways than one.
Yeah.
Gas money and
ticket money, food money.
Fuck.
It's okay. It wasn't like it was a day not well spent. We probably bought some comic books and some video games and shit.
Probably did. Yeah.
So there was other good things that happened.
Yeah.
That was also the same time that we went to like the Sonics and they were having like
graffiti, American graffiti thing, but it was a bunch of like cholo dudes and people. Like as soon as my Subaru pulls in, my lesbian mobile Subaru pulls in, everyone just turns and looks like. I didn't let over here. No one, like Sonics wasn't serving us. They're open still, but they weren't serving us.
Everybody had their like hydraulic cars and everything. I was just afraid.
And then a Hell's Angel, like some met that Hell's Angel, got into a fight with like a 20-year-old girl. I'm like, it's time we probably left. You know, and
I know we just watched Street Fighter, but it doesn't mean we know martial arts.
When you slowly pull out, and you remember you say done again.
Like, whatever you do not bump into it. Because all I can picture is you hitting one of those hydraulic cars that falls, goes, and everybody just turns, pulls out like knives, like, oh fuck, get that guy in the Subaru!
Get the lesbian mobile!
There's 2 lesbians in there, I can see them!
The driver is wearing a flannel shirt listening to the Pixies. He's gotta be a lesbian.
But yeah, that was Street Fighter Legend of Chun-Li. But we watched the better Street Fighter.
Yeah, that's the bad one. This was the better one.
This is the good Street Fighter. So yeah, next time we'll try to pick another classic 90s film that brought joy to our lives when we were children and good stuff like that. So till then, check out oldmanorange.com. And I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
I'm Ryan Donegan.
We will see you some other time. Thanks for listening to the Old Man Orange podcast. Check out our website at oldmanorange.com for even more podcasts, cartoons, videos, music, and more. Send us an email at oldmanorangepodcast@yahoo.com. Be sure to subscribe, share, rate, and review us on iTunes, Podomatic, or any of the other fine sites we might be located on. And if you want to help out even more, click on the Amazon or GameStop links on our webpage before you make any purchases there. It won't cost you a penny, but it sends us a little something our way. Thanks again, and tune in next week for more Old Man Orange Podcast.